Okay, guys, we are live for our second day with Zenler. So we're going to do quite a few things today. One is we're going to do a complete site build and a course as well in the second session. So before I get into it, I'm going to just show you some of our help resources. So to know where everything is and to actually be able to find all of the training easily, I'm just going to walk you through it. So it's really easy. So what we're going to do today with this site launch is we are going to build it using the free version. So we haven't got access to some of the big things that are in there, but as I'm going through, I'll show you. So you'll be able to see what you get with the pro and premium packages as you work through. So that'll be self-evident. But I'm going to show you how to do it with even the free version and how quick you can build your pages. So we're going to start like you have just been invited and you've got your link to your new site. You've got your login details. So you can just jump in and you can start straight away. So really exciting. Site builds are always good. Anything could happen and we are live. So again, you're seeing this all real time. You know, you can see how fast the system is to work with. If you've come across from other platforms, also you can see how intuitive this is as well. We get that a lot from our instructors, that they love the platform because it's intuitive, okay, compared to some of the other platforms that I won't name. All right, so also in this, we have Rakesh is going to join us. We did ask some questions, so they'll be answered as well. Lots of them are pretty much technical questions. We tend to find now, because our training resources are so good, that the questions that come in are more of a kind of technical nature, or people trying to find out when the new feature comes out or those sort of things. So some of these things need to be answered by Rakesh. And we also might have Kevin coming in as well, so as another guest inside this. So let's get on with it, and you can write your notes into the chat. I can see Rakesh is already on there. So morning Rakesh, morning Beth, good to see you. So you can put your questions into the comments area and they'll be answered. Rakesh is really good. He gets on them because I'm on the screen, so it's sometimes hard to jump from one to the other. But we'll try to have a slot for that as well. But Rakesh is on it. I don't know, he's going to jump on and off. So if he's off there and they haven't been answered, he'll jump back on. And if I spot them, I'll check them as well. So all good. So this is our second day with Zenler. We did our first one as a kind of trial, and we did that in an 8-hour session. It was really successful in the fact that we got lots of questions. You really loved it. So we decided to carry this on as a sort of monthly thing. So once a month, we're going to run a day with Zenler. Okay, so what we're working to now, our time slot is two 3-hour sessions. So this first one starts at 9, finishes at 12, and then our next one is 3 in the afternoon. This is BST time, guys. You've seen the event. We posted the event, so we're giving you lots of warning that this is coming up, so you guys know. You've also got that form that you can fill in to ask the questions as well, as we already talked about. So I'm going to jump into just our, as I normally do, as our kind of education slot to tell you where our educational material is for Zenler, for you new guys that are just joining us. And let's do it. So, okay, so sharing my screen. Now this is the site we're going to be working on in a minute. But I want to jump across to, first of all, our YouTube channel for a change. So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/c/Zenler. And inside here, we have a lot of different material. Now, we did a year with Zenler. Me and Kevin have been with Zenler now for 12 months. It has been a joy working with the team. So we did a retrospect. We did basically what's happened in the last 12 months. And this is our trailer video in here. Definitely watch this. You'll be absolutely amazed. In fact, I'm going to touch on it later on in this or the next session, what's happened. But it's so many changes have gone in. It's unbelievable in a year. We also have our Zenler new feature releases. So whenever we bring out a new feature release, it goes into here. Okay. And we have our Ask Zenlers, which are longer videos on questions that you guys have asked or we think there's a need for. So we got one in here, responsive behavior. Lots of people are having trouble understanding how responsive behavior works in tablets and mobile devices. So I kind of lifted the lid on that and did it in a really clear way that you can understand how the blocks kind of drop in. So when you're designing things, you can design it with that in mind. Now, naturally, Zenler is responsive, but sometimes you can mess the system up, and it happens a lot with things like putting too much padding or margins in left and right, top and bottom, and then it can really mess the system up when you take it into responsive. It's not an issue, it's not a bug with Zenler. Zenler works perfectly fine if you work within the constraints. The main thing to take away from margins and paddings is do not push it too much, and then you'll be absolutely fine. It will work in responsive. So that's the key number one problem that people have. They put too much padding and margin and then they blame the Zenler system, but it's actually just because they put too much in. It's all right, it's a common thing, it's understandable. So again, we've got our first Day with Zenler down here, so you can see in there. We have pro interviews. Now, Kevin's been running a series of pro interviews. These are brilliant. It's really good to see how other people are using the system and see how they're doing things in the system, how they found out about Zenler, their kind of touch points on the good things they love about Zenler. And lots of them are saying community because they love the community spirit, the way you kind of help each other. You're fantastic, you guys. So next we have Zenler office hours. We run these every Wednesday and they alternate for different time zones. And we have Zenler FBH, which are quick, short videos helping people on all things Zenler. So inside of YouTube, I don't know if you know, but if you go to our channel, again, youtube.com/c/Zenler, you have a little search bar. And inside here, you can actually put actual words in here, like if I spelled that right, and it will actually search our archive of videos. So this is something that's not used a lot. It's actually got the search inside of YouTube by default. So use that because it's really good way to find your videos, because lots of them are not on the page. You know, they're in a playlist, but it only shows the first sort of 10 or so. So it's a good idea to just check through the videos because we have a ton of videos. I mean, you can see our Zenlers, we have 98 in there already, 38 FBHs, and there's a ton of other bits in there. So definitely use that search facility, guys. You know, if you're trying to find information quickly, you can't find it in what I'm about to show you, which is our main training hub, definitely jump in there and hit that search. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon. We do put videos up all the time and they go in here and you get notified. So you find out the latest things. So if Rakesh posts a new feature release, then straight away, ping, you'll see it and you'll go, wow, that's great. I can use that. So it's definitely worth signing up. We've got, in the last 12 months, we've gone from basically 1 subscriber to well over 2,000, but we got about 6,000 on our Facebook group. We'd like all 6,000 to come over and actually join us on the YouTube channel as well. Then we see a little bit more engagement across multiple platforms, and it's quite good for you to be notified of any upcoming features. So YouTube channel, get in there. It's a good one to be part of for sure. I want to do more with YouTube as well. I am a YouTuber, so I want to get more going through the YouTube system, and it's not picking up like I'd like it to. I'd like them to be more engagement in here. We do have our usuals, posting comments and things, but YouTube channel is definitely one to hit for sure. Okay, so I'm going to now jump across to our main training hub. This is tutorials.newzenler.com. Okay, tutorials with an S, by the way. Here is our main hub for training. So inside here, we do put latest live events that are going on. We also put them into the Facebook group as well. If you're watching this, you're on it, so it's good. So in here, we have our office hours. So it gives our time differences on our office hours. And we have a stream into our YouTube channel, which needs to be picked up again. The next thing we've got here is the NZ Masterclass Bundle. Now, this is the main place for your online training, okay? We've done hundreds of videos to help you on all things Zenler. And there is a pipeline through this system. We essentially need you to do the quick start guide. Okay, that's how your first thing. If you're new to the platform, you guys that have been there for a while, it's all right, you know. But quick start guide gives you a nice foundation. It'll take you about 4 hours, a morning or an afternoon, you know, or split it over a week, and you could do it in a week with less than sort of half an hour a day kind of thing. So quick start guide, you want to do that. At the same time, you can download inside there is a basic setup checklist, which you can see there. And this is really good because we are building this as well. It's just we haven't had enough time to fill more of it out, but we've done the site settings, and inside there you'll find if you print it out, that while you're working through the quick start guide, you can just check those things off. Okay, so you can check them off as you're working through, and then you'll know where you are. And that's the big thing, knowing where you are, keeping yourself organized, because it's really, you know, if you're new to this, it's hard to sometimes pick things up. You're like, I don't know where that bit is. I don't know where that bit is. Now, if you're checking things off as you go through, makes it very easy. We've also put in there required. So it means these are things you need to do, which when we do the course build, you'll see things you definitely need to do, other things that are kind of optional, okay, or recommended. So we put all that in there, so you know those things you can do later stage. Required things need to be done straight away. So after you've done the quick start guide and got that checklist, you're in a place where you can then sort of pick what you want to learn about. So if you decide that you want to learn more about marketing funnels, go into what we say the complete guide to Zenler. Now, this is massive and can be really intimidating for people, and we don't want that to be intimidating. So what we expect you to do is to cherry pick the sections that you want. So as you need something, you can just go into those areas. Say you want to create a membership site, or you want a one-page site or something like that. You can go in there, you can use the search in there and find it. And we'll talk about that in a second. Next, we got ethically copy a site. Now, these are secondary courses. These are kind of courses that you can take, but they're not essential. They're just like, these are helpful videos. Like people have asked on the Facebook group, you know, can you do a course on this? Can you do a course on that? And so we've responded and done it. So ethically copy a site is basically someone asked, could I take a WordPress site or Drupal site or something? Can I then convert that into a Zenler site? So we say, yes, you can. And we show you how to do it. So hardware, software setup. This is something that often throws a lot of instructors because they don't know what hardware, software, they don't know how to set things up, understandably, because they've not done it and they're just getting into it. So we did a video on just basic setups, the sort of things that you need to get started. Next, we have advanced ninja tricks. This is for coders. This, like I said, Zenler, it can be really intuitive and quick to use, but it's also really, really powerful. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that you can plug in to Zenler. And that's where the advanced ninja tricks comes in, where we do lots of coding and things. Now, if you guys don't want to touch coding, stay away from the course. Simple as that. Don't need to. Next thing, we've got live workshops. Now, I've been running live workshops like every Sunday for about, there's about 16 or 17 of them in there. And these are all on different subjects. So it's definitely worth looking at if you want to know things like how to set up funnels or how to do tagging people in emails or setting up forms. It's all in here. So have a look. Each of them is about 1.5 hours to 2 hours long, and it's in front of a live audience as well. So we've got lots of people that are in there. I can see Tracy's on there. Tracy's in there all the time, and Beth as well. So Tracy, she's on our lives all the time, so you'll see her, and she's also very active helping people in the community. Good job. Okay, next we got branding and design. Now this was something that was asked for that I was kind of like, I've been seeing sites and I was like, there just needs to be a little bit more oomph into them, you know, a little bit thought on some of the things that you're doing. So this branding and design basically picks up common mistakes that are happening when you're designing stuff. So you don't need to be a designer. You can just watch this and it'll give you a kind of idea. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And then you can sort of get on with it. And we've actually got Ian Hamilton in on that one. And he's he's a branding expert, so it was really good. He put a few sections together in there, a few videos together in there, and also attended a live as well. And he shows how to set up things like avatar, how to sort of target your market, and how that applies to branding. Yeah, it doesn't just apply to marketing, it applies to branding as well. So that was a really good one. It's definitely worth going in there. It's not a long course, and get stuck in. So that is all under the NZ Masterclass Bundle at tutorials.newzenler.com. Underneath it, we've got sort of standalone courses. This was run by Kevin, and this is a 5-day blogging challenge. He's got rave reviews about this, and it's really good to have a look at for sure. Next, we've got the NZ Zenler feature list and matrix. Now, this is handy for you guys. Like if you're using the free platform, you can have a look at the feature list and compare the free version to the pro and the premium version. You can see what you're getting. And we've also got a feature stack up against our competition. So you can see how we pack up against our competition. So I'm going to jump into the complete guide now. This is the NZ Masterclass Bundle. Sorry, the NZ Masterclass Bundle. And inside here, as I was saying before, this is our order. Primary courses are quick start guide, download the basic setup checklist at the same time, and then cherry pick what you like from the complete guide to Zenler. So you can see here, you can enter straight through here. And down here, you can see that we have all our secondary Zenler courses, subtopics, which covers all these. Now, there's an extra one in here. It's called theme and block packs. This is for you to basically grab some of the themes and the block packs that have been created in this. So I show you how to install those in. Maybe do not do it at first. Put your site together and then go and have a look and have a play around, because it takes a little bit of coding. You've got to copy a little bit of coding and drop it in. It's really easy. I do explain it in there, and I haven't had any problems, and I've run complete newbies through this. So I know that they're following it well, and I haven't had any feedback or bad comments from it. So definitely have a look at this pack as well. So before I get into the site build, I want to jump into the complete guide to Zenler just to show you how that particular course is kind of worked out. So I'm in this course now, and you can see at the top here, we've got to search our complete database. Now you'll find this through lots of the courses. And this is where we've put all of our videos, all of them. We've put them into Searchy, and they're all, you're able to find and locate them all clicking here. This is a bit like YouTube. So you can click in here and you can type something like funnels, and then you can just hit the enter button and it will bring up any video that features the word funnels in it. So you can go and have a look, working with CTAs, funnels are mentioned in there, adding bonus. So you can see this is a really quick way, and it accesses our whole archive, okay? It's standalone kind of from the complete guide to Zenler, but it's a way to find your videos really quickly. You'll also notice up the top here, we do have a translation. So we've put Google Translate into our tutorials.newzenler.com site. So you guys, you could use these to translate the page, and any live text will then be translated. So if I put it into Czech, for instance, you're going to see it will change to Czech and back to English. So that's going to be handy for you. So going down to the course itself, we have the modules, and then we have the lessons inside of the modules, and these are searchable. Look at this particular course. Yeah, it's massive. Like I said, you pick out the bits you want. Start with the quick start guide. This will overwhelm you if you jump into it straight away, because as you can see, it's pretty big and it's getting bigger. There's more content being added all the time. And we also have in here, because it's so big, we've got a quick find highlighter. So if you put in here, click that, this will come up. Let's type in funnels again. I don't know why, I'm just obsessed, I guess, and click OK. Now you might not see kind of anything happen, but then if you scroll down, then anywhere with the word funnels, there we go. And so that takes you to that section. So this is a really good way to find information on the page really quickly. Now to reset it, clear the results, you can hit the clear results, okay? And it will just go back. But also at the bottom, tucked away at the very bottom for more advanced users, we have another section. Now this is these videos and modules, but it's basically what I've done is I've pulled out all of the descriptions. So they're bigger descriptions to each of the videos. So it means that there's more search results that you can get from it. So if you open this up, you're going to see, here we go. We've got all the same modules and lessons as up here, but we have all the descriptions that are actually in each lesson. So this means that it's easier to find things. So if you were to put site launch, and then I was to hit, let's do this. Okay. You're going to then see that they're highlighted here. Okay. So you can see, and you can jump straight to that workshop inside here as well. So it's just another way of being able to get information across to you really quickly. So hello, Kevin. We've got Kevin in. Just going to give a quick shout out. So yeah, this is the course. So I've gone into quite a lot of detail there, but I really wanted that to be at the beginning, because what I'm about to show you when I actually do the course build is actually going to the site build and course is actually going to be using the free version. So there's a lot more you can do. So I'm running through how to create a site, but there's a ton more things you can do. So I wanted, you know, to actually knock that home, that you've got the resources there to search for things that you need if it's not covered in this. Okay, we've got all those tutorials. This is showing you how quick we can site build using Zenler. So with that done, I'm going to just now jump to the site that we're going to look at. And here it is here. So we have a day with Zenler. So I've called this site a day with Zenler. This is a free, this is what you would get if you were invited. And you then have your site and your login details. So you can log in, you just go to the sign in there and you have these come up. So it basically, what's happening here is we have automatically installed all of the pages for you. And we put it in this kind of clean, neutral color so that it gives you a good place to start. Now I'm going to be customizing this a little bit, but I could do this even quicker if I just stick to this template. But of course we don't want to just stick to this template. We want to be doing our own things. We want to make it ours. But I'm just saying that if you just altered the words and made the site work with what we've got, you could do this a lot quicker. So what do we have in the page? So before we jump into showing you, I just want to tell you a little bit about the page design and how it works. So inside of any web page, not just Zenler, you have what's called a head section. That's normally the menu system up the top here. Normally has your logo, all of your menus to jump to different pages. And that's how you can kind of navigate. And that's a constant thing. It normally stays the same throughout all of the pages. Okay, just because people can jump around. So we also have, and I'm going to miss out the middle bit for a second, going to go down to the bottom. We also have what's called a footer area. Now this again can have navigation in it. As you can see, we've set that up for you. Usually also it has social media. So we've put some social media in here. Don't worry, we're going to look at all this stuff. And this is also something that remains constant throughout a site. Okay, you'll normally find a header and footer, and they won't change too much throughout the site. Then we have what's called the body area. Now this is the main content area where you're putting your designs in. Okay, so inside Zenler, we have two kind of main header and footer blocks. One is called dynamic, and the other is a kind of manual method where you can do what you like. So the difference between the dynamic and the manually built templates, okay, is that that dynamic block, if you've got it, whatever page you've got that dynamic block into, it will automatically change throughout all of the pages. Yep. So that will be clear when I go into the course, but I just wanted that to be clear for you. So what I do is I go into here and we're going to call this a day with Zenler, and I'm going to just do it through this. I'm following best practices here. There's going to be a few little different things that are going on as well, because I don't like to keep training exactly the same. I like to mix it up a bit. So I'm in the page. Notice I open a new tab. I always do that so I can jump around. So I'm going to go back to the first tab. Make sure you sign in. You're going to go into admin, and it's going to take you into the system itself. So the first thing you're going to see, because this is a free version, you're going to see the discounts that we're offering at this time. Okay, so you can see that if you do a year with the Pro plan, it's $647, but it will be $1,270 at launch. Okay, and for premium, we have 1,447 a year. It will be it will be nearly 6,000 when that launches. So these are insane offers. The reason they are insane offers is this is beta. So we are using you guys to help us test everything out so that we can make it better and get everything ready for launch. Okay, so that's all I'm saying on it. So these deals will not last, they will go up, but you're going to see this if you've got the free form every time you go into the system. Okay, but it's fine. You can click continue to beta and it's all good. So the first thing you're going to see is, what do you want to do today? You've got create a course, generate leads, or send broadcasts, right? Well, the first thing we want to do today is start our site, and we want to get our site ready. So we don't have to do these things at this point. We can jump straight into the site area here. So we're going to go through this a little bit. I'm not going to go into detail on every single thing. We haven't got time for that. That's what the tutorials are for. But you can see straight away that our site name is a-day-with-zenler. And you can see that's mirrored here. You can also see that our URL is in here as well. Now, it's good to have this right. You can change this, but we say don't. You can't have, people have had problems when they've changed this login in because they haven't used the right URL to go in. So leave it as it is, and we're just going to move on. So this is custom domain, where you can actually set up your own domain. So I've got like surfdudes.com, and I can actually set the site up. So it could be surfdudes.newzenler.com. I could just set that up with a custom domain or a subdomain under surfdudes.com, and it would come up. But this is for premium users. So I'm going to stay clear. So we're just going to get straight into site build. I'm going to go straight into the pages here. So I've gone to site, gone to pages. Now inside pages, this is your site. This is all the pages that are automatically generated by your site. But don't get overwhelmed. A lot of these are like hidden, and they're only come up when certain things happen, like someone unsubscribes from a mail, this page will show. When someone subscribes to a mail, this page will show. Notifications is for if you've got communities or people asking questions, then you'll have it here. And you've got community function. You've got things like cookie policy. You've got things like terms of use, privacy policy. You've got like the login. You've got a register. Got my courses. So it's all very easy to understand. And look down the bottom, we've got homepage, and that is our homepage. That is this page here. So if I went to all courses, look at the end, it just says courses. All right, come into here. Let's look for that page. There it is, there, courses. So really easy to find where things are. So we at Zenler set these pages up for you automatically. You can add more pages. You can remove pages. Okay. You can't remove the login page. So we're starting on this site. Maybe we don't want people to see this site because it's not finished. It's not ready. People go to that. They'll see it and it's not ready, and that you maybe want to give it out to people. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to create a pre-launch page. Okay, so this means that we'll have a page come in for the home page that hasn't got things like the navigation at the top, hasn't got the footer. It's just going to be a simple page saying register for pre-launch, and then we're going to have a little form in there, and we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to take this home page, and I'm simply going to duplicate it out. There's numerous ways we can create pages. If you come up the top here, we can add a page here. Okay, if I click that, I'll just show you quickly. We can add a blank page. It'll just give you a header and a footer. You can also pick a general template or a general template 2. By the way, we can also publish that page at the same time. So you can put a title in for it and you add that at the end. But I'm going to show you, we're going to be using this in a minute, but I'm going to first of all show you how we can just clone a page. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to click here. That's going to create me a clone page. There it is. Can you see it? You can preview it here. You can delete it here. We've looked at clone. You can edit it here that we're going to go into, and you can look at the page settings in here. Notice the status published. If I wanted to unpublish it, I could just unpublish. Let me just show you. Copy. Now, what we always say is look at pages and things in incognito. So we usually expect you to use the Chrome browser. So if you come up here, we're just going to go to new window, incognito in Chrome. I'm going to paste that URL in there, and I'm going to hit return. And you can see it's pretty much a mirror image of the home page. So let me just take that URL away from the end, and you'll see it's exactly the same as the home page. So, but we want to edit it. We want to make this the home page, and we want to make it a pre-launch page. So I'm going to do a few things here. One is I'm going to come into the gear icon, and I'm going to change the name of this. So I'm going to call Day with Zenler pre-launch. Pre-launch, pre-register. I'm going to change this URL at the end as well. I'm just going to call it Day with Zenler pre-launch. Now, we can't have spaces in between, but we should be all right. So let's click update. And now we have this new page. So we've changed the URL of the page. Again, if we want to preview that, just to check that it still works, we go in and we test. And this is something we're going to mention all the time is test, test, test. Okay, you can see, there we go. There's our page. Good, let's do some designing. So let's go into our edit button now. And I'm going to shoot into here. And I'm basically going to delete out all the content. And I'm even going to delete out the header and the footer, because I just want this to be a pre-launch page. I don't want people to be able to jump around because I haven't designed my site yet. So this is what I always do at the beginning. It's if people accidentally get on your site, they're only going to find this pre-launch page and not be able to jump around. So here's our page coming up. This is all live, what's happening here. And we're going to go in and just start deleting things out. So we have blue blocks. These contain rows and elements, and any forms or special things that we put in here. The blue block contains it all. You'll notice that if I click these, I've got this. And you'll also see these little tabs come up. Tabs are pretty easy. If you're using a Pro or Premium, you can save the block to reuse it in other pages. You can also delete the block, and you can clone the block. So if I was to clone the block, there we go, cloned it. If I was to delete the block, I'd just click delete. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to merrily delete everything out. Like crazy. Just going to leave me with a header and a footer. Notice dynamic. I'm not going to change these. We're going to leave them as dynamics. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new block. So we have choices up here. We have blocks. Blocks contain elements and rows and elements inside them, right? Elements are elements. And we also have pop up there that we're not going to talk about too much. So let's go to empty block. So let me go back to the beginning just so you guys can see. So blocks is all of our blocks. You're going to see they all have little thumbnails with them, so you can see exactly what you're dropping in, by the way. But I'm going to use an empty block. So I'm going to grab this empty block and I'm going to drag it into the page. All right, we've got our empty block. Now I'm going to add a row. So as you can see, we have rows. That's one row, one column, one row, two columns, etc., etc. So I'm just going to grab this row here. So notice it's gone green. There's a little green, right? And you'll also notice there's a little settings tab by there, which we're going to talk about later. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice bold heading in. So I'm going to hit heading, and I've got a heading come up. So notice it's red because it's an element. So rows are green, blocks are blue, elements are red. Right, let me just grab a document because I've written some text down already. It's probably the longest part of creating a site is actually writing all your text down. So I've got some text in a little notepad here, which is a good thing to do. Right, so let's go in here, drop this text in here. Now that's an H1 heading. I'm now going to grab an H2 heading. And I'm just pasting this in. You can see how quick I'm developing this. There we go. Let's. And guys, you don't have to use H1, H2. You can pick whatever you like because you can change the sizes of them. Generally, it's a good idea to have H1 heading as the main heading of the page. Your subtitle is good to have H2, and going down the rankings, H3 to normal text. All right. Just a little tip. So let's put this last one in here. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to put in here is going to be a text block here. There we go. And what I want to do then is I want to put a form into this page. So I'm going to do a little bit of formatting on this just to start it off. I'm going to click this little gear icon here, and I want to basically change the background color. I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to change the background color to, say, a kind of Zenler type blue. Okay, so that's nice. I'm going to come into here now, the elements, click the little settings tab. And I want to make this a little bit bigger. So I've got the font, it's all in there. I'm going to change this. I'm actually going to make it about 50. Okay. So notice the text big. I'm also going to make it into white as well. Okay. So this one here, I want to make this white text. Like so. Okay, so this is basically what we set up so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a form in there. Now, what I want with this form is I want people, this is the only page they're going to see. So it's going to be the home page. It's not going to contain this header. I'm going to delete this out in a minute, and it's not going to contain this footer. I'm going to delete it out. It's basically one page, like a splash page. And all we're trying to do with this is to get signups initially. So I want to create a form that when they actually put their name and their email in, it actually tags them. So tagging is a good way to be able to split people out into different areas. In this case, the tag I'm going to use is pre-launch. So if people actually register on the site, then they wouldn't have this tag called pre-launch, but I would know the people that did use this form and sign up, because they would be tagged with pre-launch. So it makes it really easy for me to communicate just with those people. So this is why we can create forms based around that. So I'm now going to create the form. I'm going to go in, and we have some forms already. So best I use one of the blocks and not just make them all up. I tend to make everything up from scratch. That's just what I do. So actually knowing where the forms are could be a bit of a problem. Got to sign up there. So sign up. Oh, let me just make it from scratch. It's going to be easier. It's really easy anyway. So I'm going to grab the empty block again. I'm going to grab the empty block. I'm going to put it into here. There we go. Sometimes you can work too fast. You can get it and you can drag it across really quick, and then it doesn't stick. It's just because you're working at speed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into put a single row in. Okay, you always have a big blue element, you always have a green element, and then a row, and then you put elements inside the row. So you've got that blue, green, red phase. So inside here you can see we've got form, and if I go and click form, it's going to put a form in there. Simple. So now I've already got a form in here. I can start to just change it a bit. There are a few things we need to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to make this a kind of striking color. So I'm going to change it and go into a kind of orange, which is kind of Zenler orange. Let's pick something like that. Bang. I'm going to go to the button now. Notice that it's a form. So a form has got purple running around it. All right. So we want to go in and do things inside that form. We don't want to take this and drag it outside. We want to make sure it's all enclosed in this form. You see that purple? Okay. Right, first thing I'm going to do is check out these. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to click this little gear icon. It's going to open up from the side. We're going to go straight into settings. So inside settings, you can see it says enter your name here. This is the placeholder text. So I could put, we just need your name. There we go. It's changed down here. You can make it a required field. Probably a good idea for this. And you can see the input type. Now this is the type of input it is. So for this particular field. So if you click here, you can see you can set it for email, name, but you wouldn't want to. You're taking someone's first name. So you just keep it on first name. You can animate as well, that I might get into later in the course if we have time. And there's certain other things we can do that we don't need to touch. So let's take this one now. And I'm going to follow this on. And your email. So it's almost like I've done a sentence there going through. Okay, definitely want this to be required. It's probably the most important one. So I'm clicking required field. Okay, let's style up the button and make sure that's working. So I'm going to click the button now. This is the submit button. I'm going to click the settings. And we're going to change the design style to start with. So we have a few different design styles to pick for the buttons. So you can pick whichever one you like. I'm going to choose, because Zenler is lots of circles and things, I'm going to go for a rounded online button. And then I'm going to click this again, and I'm going to make this a white. Let's go to style, scroll down. We're going to choose the text color, which at the moment is blue and clashing a little bit. You're going to see that's going to go white. We're going to choose the border color. I'm going to make that white. And I'm also going to change that border thickness because it's far too thin. So I'm going to make it 4. You're going to see it's thickening up. Now, I also don't like the way that it's full width. So if down here, you can see I've got width, full width. So I'm going to go to normal. Now, the thing about that is it's a little bit kind of, well, it's in the middle for one thing. So I could actually change the alignment. I'm going to keep it in the middle, but I'm going to give it a bit more space left and right. So if you come up here, sorry, padding, I want to go into here, and you can see under the padding options that we can actually add a little bit more space. Do you see that? Just to give it a little bit more air. So I'm going to take that to about 80, and I'm going to just type in here 80, and it'll add it to that side like that. So that looks a lot better. Now you can change things like the font size, you can change the font itself, the font style, all these things could be changed. But this is going to work for us. Now we also, it's a little bit too far away from this side. So I'm going to, if you hover over any of these blocks, you can see if you click and drag, you can move it up. So you can just kind of move it up a little bit, make it look a little bit better. Maybe even the top. If I go over there, you can move that up. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so finally, I just need to check my button settings. So I'm going to go into the settings again. This is going to be probably one of the most important parts, which is the settings, what's happening when someone clicks that button. So I can change that text. Put something like pre-register. I can have an action, submit form. And then I can add this to an email list. Now we haven't set any email lists up, so we're not going to worry, but you can actually add it so it's actually in an email list. We could also add it to a funnel. Again, we haven't created any funnels, but this is just showing you what you can do. You can add it to a list. You can put them into a marketing funnel. Okay. We can also add tags. Now, this is what I was saying about pre-launch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in here pre-launch, and then I'm going to hit enter. And then pre-launch is going to come up here. Sometimes that comes up as well, which is kind of. Then we might want a post-submit action. So a post-submit action is basically when someone clicks it, it then goes through to another page. So generally people do thank you pages. So they have a page saying thank you. So we might create a thank you page and then I'll just relink it to that in a second. But this is basically set up now. So this will actually take people in. So if they put their name and their email, they will go into the system, the Zenler system, and they will also be tagged with that pre-launch as well. Now, critically at this stage, or each stage you do, you should save it as well. So I'm going to click that save button. You're going to see that it's just going to rotate. Give it a little bit of time, just let it save, and then it's finished. So it'll also then come up with SEO settings. So I always say, do a little bit of a short paragraph that describes the page. So you could put something in here. Always do this, guys. I've got a little bit of text. So I'm going to put that in there. And you'll notice as we put these things in, you're going to see it previewing here. This is what it will show on a social share site, and also what it will show if it was a Google listing as well. Now, meta keywords are a way for search engines to know what the content of your page is about. So I'm not going to get into great detail. I'm just going to do a few in here. The first one I'm going to do is take the title and I'm going to put it in there. Then I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to put something else. So online courses, and then a comma, and then online course creation, something like that. Okay, don't need to go mad. I just put it in there. So next thing we have down here is a social image. So you can actually add social images to this as well. This is the SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. Okay, so this is what will show, this is how Google will look at your page. It will look at those, go, that's important, and then it will crawl the whole page, and that's what will show in your listing. Okay, so that's why we have SEO preview in there. And you've also got show in search results. Okay, now if you turn that off, there's still a chance that it could be searched. All right, so it's not a foolproof thing. It isn't with any system, by the way. Okay, it doesn't matter what system you use. If the search engines disregard the sitemap that gets created, it doesn't matter. It will show anyway. So, but you can, good search engines like Google will obey that. So if you turned it off, then it wouldn't appear on the search results inside Google. Okay, just so you know. So let's put a social image in here. I don't even know if I've done one yet, but I'll have a look. So if we click here, you're going to get what we call the media library come up. Well, it's actually the image, the upload image area, but these will pop into the media library. And because we have no images in here, you can upload an image here. We're also connected to Pixabay, so you can choose images from Pixabay and you can just put them straight into the site. Now, in this case, it is bespoke. It is a day with Zenler. But I could put something like community in there or something. I'll just try courses and see what happens. So I'm going to hit the search. That's going to just connect with Pixabay, bring all the images in. So courses hasn't really given me a good lot of courses here. That's maybe not bad. Let's click that one. Once I click it, that will pop up into the system. So first of all, it'll say, do you want to crop this down? So you can actually drag these and you can crop it. So let's crop this into here and then click crop and insert. And now inside those SEO, you're going to have that preview. So there it is. So this is now your preview in there. So let's click done to that. And now we have to save this again because we've made that change to the SEO. So that's going to say changes done. And my last thing I'm going to do is get rid of the header, and I'm going to get rid of the footer. So we've got no navigation on here, and I'm going to save it again. And now I want to make this my homepage. So let's preview it quickly. By the way, you can preview up here, click in here. This gives you a preview of the page. This is what it's looking like. So that looks good. It's all in here, and that looks nice. And let's make this our homepage. So remember, our homepage at the moment is this. So let's do it. Let's go back. I can close this window. Once I've made saves, because it opens in a new tab, I can close that off. Let's go back to the page. Here it is here. And we're going to make this the home page. Let's go to home page. and let's go and select our page, Day with Zenler pre-launch. Let's do it for logged in users as well. Day with Zenler pre-launch. Let's click save. And now that is done, if I go to incognito, there we go. So you can't navigate around. So what does this mean, setting a pre-launch page up? Well, having any kind of splash page at the beginning, it could be like site under maintenance. You might not have a form in there, but it does mean that in the background, you can work on your site. So now you have taken the pressure off of yourself. You know, it's like, oh, I've got to get all this site done in a day or two because it's live. I want to launch it. People might find it. But you've taken the pressure off yourself by setting up this launch page, because people no longer are there like, oh, great. Okay, when it launches, I'm now going to put my name in there and I'm going to sign up for it. So let's test this out. Let's actually sign up for this. So I'm going to use my email address. I've got my testing email address, and you're going to see what we're going to get. Let me grab that. So again, always test. So I'm going to put my name in here. I'm going to say David, and I'm going to put my email address in here. Oop, that's not my email address. Let me go and grab it. And click pre-register. Down there, success. Okay. Let's have a look what's happened in the site now that we've done that. So I'm just going to close this down, and we're going to go now to all people, and you're going to see that I am in there. So that form works. I can see my role is a lead. A lead is anyone that you've got to sign up for anything into your course. Okay. They're not a student. There's different levels. There's students, you know, we've got admin, we've got, instructors, affiliates, leads, assistants. A lead is someone coming in from something like a funnel, from a form that you set up. Okay. If people register on the site, they'll become students in there. So there's a difference, but they're tagged with pre-launch. So because they're tagged with pre-launch, I can now filter them. So using some filtering, don't take this in, guys. I'm just showing you. I'm just demonstrating how it works. So if I go to advanced filter and go down here, we can go user tag contains, and then it's going to give me a list of the user tags. I'm going to click pre-launch. And when I click this, because I'm not tagged here, I won't come up. So if I click apply filter, bang, there we go. So that's a good way. So imagine you had like 20 different tags in there. You were tagging people in one form, you were tagging people in another form, and you had different tags. You can easily filter them out. So this allows you to communicate and know and see those people that are in there. You can also filter out on a ton of different things. So you can see here, we can filter if they're enrolled in a course, if they're not enrolled in a course, if they completed a course, if they've done the EU consent, if they unsubscribed. You've got all these things, or phone number contains for area codes, that kind of thing. So imagine the power of that, being able to just like bang, you can just get those people up straight away. It's so good. I hardly ever even use email lists. I always use tagging and all the other filters that are in there, because I don't need to. It's just really quick. I can just do it instantly. So that's how that works. So now we set up that, remember, homepage now to be the pre-launch page. We can actually work on the other pages. So we can do that now. So there's a few things I want to talk about before I do that, which is like branding, things like that, because now you've taken the pressure off yourself. You've set up that maintenance page or that pre-launch page so that people can sign up. You've got no pressure on you. You can now take it easy and just concentrate on the things that matter. So let's go to pages, and let's go back to our original homepage here. Let's go in and let's edit this. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to see the changes that are happening when we start changing things like branding colors, font types, these kind of things. Yeah, the font, the style, the weight of it, and you'll actually see that on screen. And I'm also looking at my clock because I need to make sure that I get this first part done in the first 3 hours. And I'm also going to jump across and see if there's any questions come in. I don't know. Multitasking. There we go. How do I make an A/B split test in a funnel? Johan, I mean, the thing is actually splitting your list up. So if you've got 2 funnels, or you check out our YouTube channel, you're going to see inside our YouTube channel that I've done a video in there called branching funnels. This could be a way to split test, but we have no way of actually just automatically split testing in the system itself at this time. But if you, I had this question come up before, but what you could do is you could tag students coming into a certain page, or you could set up 2 of those pre-launch pages and you could tag them differently, and you could send an email list out with one of the funnels, and you could send the other email list out to another funnel if you want to see what the kind of conversion rate is happening in there by the results. But we haven't got, I don't think Rakesh is in there at the moment, but there isn't an actual default way of A/B or split testing inside Zenler at this time, but it is something the team are very aware of, and hopefully we can ask Rakesh when he comes back. I'm pretty sure he'll see that question, Johan. So I'm going to jump to, as I said today, this is all about building a site, doing courses, and answering questions at the same time. So it's going to be action-packed. So I got a question from Tracy. In a live webinar funnel on the replay page, is it possible to have a countdown timer that when it gets to 0, it goes to a new page automatically? Timer to activate at specific physical time, not when someone opens the replay page. Yeah, in the options on the timer, you can get it to redirect when it hits 0. So you can redirect them. That's been used a few times to for things like home pages, where people have wanted people to go to the home page and actually jump straight through to their sales page. Okay, so they've actually put a timer in there and they put it at 0. So when someone comes in, it hits 0 and redirects them straight to a page. That is the option to get around that. So you could do exactly the same thing inside of the replay pages on lives. Okay. For you guys that don't know about this because you're a beginner, don't worry about it. These are more technical questions from guys that have been here for a long time. So that's how you could do it. You could set that timer up and bounce them off to a page. Yeah, Kevin's already said yes, you can. Yeah, yes, you can. All right, so Beth said I got stuck making a form yesterday. It worked in the end, but initially it looked like it was working, but then the page didn't show properly. When I changed the page name, it was okay. Initially, I used unsubscribe as the page name. Yet stay away from using those names. Like the names that are in there that are really important that you shouldn't really change are like the login, register, unsubscribe, subscribe. That's for that purpose. All right, so it could mess. You might have found a little bug there, but yeah, it's unusual that you change that. But if there is a bug there, I might test that out. But I'm glad you solved it anyway, and hopefully that quick video I did for you there shows you how quick it is to set that up. All right, guys, so let's get back on with it. Right. So what I'm going to do here is let's just explain what's going on here. One is we have this block, and this block is highly editable, so you can edit this however you like. Also in here, you're going to see that this block here says dynamic. This means, and this block here says dynamic. This means it's pulling the content in from somewhere. So if it's in the menu at the top, if you change this and you have this dynamic block in other pages, then those changes will be reflected. You'll see this later. The same applies for all courses. Now, we haven't got any courses because we haven't created any yet. So it's got nothing to pull into it. But if we had have created a course, it will then pull it into the page. Okay, so bear that in mind. So I'm going to now start to have a look at the font, the colors, these sort of things that are going on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little link in here. It doesn't have to be anything to anywhere. I just need to make sure the colors are changing. So I've selected that text, and you're going to see you get a little WYSIWYG editor where you can make things bold, you can italicize them, underline them. You can also pick the font family and the font size. I'm going to leave the font size and family as it is at the moment. You can also change the color, and I can put a link in. So I'm going to go and click this little link, and I'm just going to put a hash in here. Now, that's not going anywhere, but it will register as a link. So if I click insert, it's now got this. So you can see it's gone into this gray color. Right, now there's a reason why I'm doing this, because we're going to use this page to check our branding. So branding is our colors on things and our font types, and I'm just going to use it as that as a base. So one thing I definitely want to do is just to start putting in some headers here, just to see how the changes affect them. So I've got an H1 header there. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to choose an H2 header. I'm just going to look what happens when we add this stuff in. I've already got a button in here. That's fine. And I don't need to do a lot else. So now I'm going to look at changing the look and feel of the site. So let's jump back to pages, leave that tab open there, and just click save, by the way. And for now, I'm going to miss the SEO. But guys, never miss SEO, right? For the sake of this training course, I'm missing it. But you need to put this stuff in there, okay? So do it. I'm just doing that for speed. Okay, right. Jump back to pages. We're going to go to branding now. And we are going to change a few things. So in branding allows us to change things like put a logo in there. Do you remember our site at the moment has just got this text? Okay. We can put a logo in there. So let's do that. That's our first thing we want to do. So I'm going to click upload, and I'm going to go drop files. I'm going to actually go and find where it is, which is in here somewhere. There it is. Got a little PNG file. I'm going to click open. There it is. Now set your fav icon. These are little fav icons are these. See them in the corner? Yeah, generally they're square. Make sure they're over 512 pixels, guys. So if you don't know what pixels are, they're just like the little dots on the screen. If you go into any image editing program in the world, it'll have it all in pixels, all right? So 512. So I've already got one in there, but I'm going to show you. I'll just use the same thing. So I'm going to click upload. I'm going to go drop file. I've got a little square Z. You're going to click there, clicked, bang, it's in there. Okay. So let's have a look at the changes. Now I've done that, let's go back to our site and preview it. There we go. We got our logo. And we got our little thing up there. So that's our first change we've done, starting to style this up. And now we're going to have a look at the font type. So maybe I want to change the font type. Now remember, this is our page at the moment. Okay. So let's go and change it to, let's go crazy. Let's just go and choose something mad. So this is the heading font, the body font. Remember what I said to you, like a heading font, like H1, you know, H2, like, or the page name will be changed as that. And the body font is main, like text copy. So let's go and choose something crazy before we go back to a nice normal font. So I'm going to choose like that, crazy. Let's go and choose something like that. And let's go and make this bold. There we go. And let's click save. So when you make any changes in each area, you need to save it. Right, let's go back into here and I'm going to refresh it. Now, you've got two ways of refreshing this. One is you could just go into incognito, or you could press and hold the control key. This is on PC, and hit this little refresh button. And there we go. So that's pretty mad, but you can see the heading's been changed to this font, and then the body text or general text has been changed to this. So obviously, you know, unless you're sort of maybe doing an arty type site, you might not use this kind of copy, or you'd never use this copy for the text. It's unreadable. So I'm going to go back and we're going to change it to something a little bit more kind of normal. We've got up here font pairs. Now font pairs are really good because these are font pairs that actually work well together. This, our design team has come up with these pairs that work really well together. So I'm going to use one I like is this one here. I might make the heading weight a bit bolder, and I'm going to click save. Just have a look at it. So this is site-wide changes. These happen. You can override them, but that's a nice, clear, clean font to see. So I've set that up. Let's move down. So course player, right? General rule of thumb, if you've done these fonts in this, make sure you choose the same for these, right? That's going to be the easiest way to show you. So you can also type in here Roboto. So I'm clicking Roboto. It's going to appear in there. I've got that as semi-bold, open sans. So I'm going to pick semi-bold, and I'm going to click save and click OK. Little warning come up. Course player is actually, if you create a course, it comes up in the curriculum. All right. So don't have to worry about it yet. But general rule of thumb is you would keep your main font family the same running through. So course player as well would kind of be the same. All right. You don't have to, you can override it. We've given you that ability to do it, but generally you would keep it the same just to keep things consistent. So next thing we're going to break down onto is the colors. So we have the header. Remember I mentioned the header top of the page, footer bottom of the page, and body in the middle of the page. That's what this refers to. So you can see background color. So I'm referring to this top area. You can see this background color is white. Okay, that's what it refers to. Link color is the links in the page. So are these got links? You can see that goes to a lighter gray. So you can see inside here that this is that lighter gray. It's the hover color. So if I was to change this to say something like a red in here, scroll down here, make sure that you save it. Come back in here, refresh this or go into incognito. And when you hover over, you'll now see it's going to appear red. Okay, so that's what it refers to. So I'm not going to make it big changes in this side. You just need to play around, refresh the page, see if you like it, and go with it. Okay. So we got footer down the bottom. Now I think I'm going to do something a little bit more extreme with the footer. So I'm going to change this to a kind of blue. Right, a little tip for you. These are called hex colors. That is basically web colors. It's a good idea to have like a Word doc or something open next to your screen, and that way you can just paste it in there. So if I've got a Word doc in here, to make sure that I'm keeping things consistent throughout the site, if I can grab that screen, there we go. I might put here blue, and then I'll put in the hex number. And what you're doing now is you're building up your branding sheet as you're working through. Okay, so that's kind of the blue. So next time I need to put that in anywhere, I've got that on my screen. I can open it up, grab that color and paste it in there. So a little bit of a tip there. So let's go through this quite quick. I'm going to change most of these to white. So I'm going to change the link color to white. Obviously, it's on a blue background. I'm going to change this to slightly off. Text color, again, all this is going to be white because it's on blue. Let's take all that, make it blue, come down there, hit save, jump back into the page, hit refresh. Down the bottom, it's going to change all blue. There we go. And notice they've gone white as well. Notice it's gone that gray color when you mouse over it. So there's a quick change to the footer, and the header's okay as it is. So I'm ready with to add the content in there. Well, one thing I want to talk about is the course player. This is, again, inside when we create a course, you're going to see the course player colors. So basically anything to do with colors, you need to come into branding area. Okay, you need to go to site branding. You can change all your colors. And if you refresh the page, you're then going to see it. Guys, if it's not changing, then I suggest what you do is you take the URL and you open it up in incognito mode, which doesn't cache the page. That way you can look at it. So already, like a few seconds there, with me talking about it all, we've got this to come up. I'm not quite sure why the logo hasn't come up there. Might be an issue with something, but I don't know what. Should be all right. Okay, so now I've got to start to fill out my content of my pages. So I finished with branding. We've covered that. I'm going to go back into the pages now, and we're going to start to style these pages up. So I'm going to start with the home page. I'm coming down to here. I'm going to hit the edit button, and I've got some text in the document that I'm going to use to paste in there. All right. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is start getting rid of some of this stuff, just reformatting it. I'm going to come into the blue box now, and I'm just going to put an image in here. So I'm going to choose a background image, and I think I'm going to choose something like, I've got some breaks in here. I don't know why. Maybe my internet's a little bit slow because I'm streaming. I don't know. Let's take her. So there we go. I'm going to take this corner. If you go into the corner, see you can go down. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag, make this a bit bigger. I'm going to then go at the top. I'm going to drag this down a little bit. And I'm now going to put a tint over the top. So I'm going to come into here and I'm going to choose a blue. So notice I've got the background image. This is the background position. So at the moment it's center, center. What I want to do is do it top center. So it's more like that. And now I can actually put an overlay over the top because you can't read the text. It's a bit invisible. So I'm going to go in and we're going to choose a background overlay. Okay. I'm going to go to my overlay color and I'm going to pick maybe an orange, something like that. Okay. And then I'm going to just move this, make it a little bit darker. Okay. Now I can start putting my text in. Now I haven't got any courses, so it's a good idea to get rid of the all courses block. With all of these blocks, you can put them back in at any time. So I've got this. This is now my first part. I'm now going to start to drop bits in. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete out this. And put this in here. Yes, I think my system is working really hard today. I can hear it humming, which is unusual. So I'm going to make that 56. I'm going to change this to a white. I think I want to make it bolder than this. So I'm going to go into semi-bold. Okay. Now I'm going to choose another color, another pink here. I'm taking this text straight from a Word doc. And we're going to okay, I might make this black. The moment is a kind of gray color. So okay, that's okay. Not quite happy with the length of it. So I'm going to come into these settings. I'm just going to reset this. Right, this is a containing block. So if you go into the blue block and you hit the little gear icon, you can actually make this full width. There we go. That's better. So it's now going to full width. So again, guys, good idea to keep checking these things as you're working through as well. That looks nice to me. I'm going to click the preview. We're going to get something like that. So it's looking a bit better already. So that is that. Now, I probably want to put my form in here to get pre-launch because I haven't got my course ready yet. So I still want people to register or sign up. So how can I get that form that I created in the pre-launch page? How can I get it into here? Now, if I could save the block like this, which I can't because I have to upgrade, it would be easy. I could just save that block out when I was in that page, and then I could choose it from the blocks in here. But I'm using the free platform. So how can I do this? So it's really easy, guys. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to close these other pages down to get organized. And I'm going to go back to our original pre-launch page here. I'm going to hit the edit button. And we're basically going to take that code. So I'm going to grab the code out of the page, and I'm going to drop it into an empty block into the new page. So really easy, but just requires a little bit of grabbing code, which is no problem. So even you free users can actually grab block code, move it across. So here it is here. So notice there's a little tab at the end. On all of these blocks, you've got this little tab. So I'm going to open this little tab up. I'm simply going to press Control, hold the Control, press A, and then I'm going to press Control and C to copy. Okay. And I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to come back into our page, and I'm going to drop an empty block in here. So I'm going to go to blocks, empty block. I'm going to grab that empty block when it comes up. I'm going to drag it down here. Oh, there we go. And now I'm going to open this block up and paste it in. Select all, Control A, delete it out, Control V to paste the code in, click Save. Bang. There we go. Now, obviously, that's just too much. So I'm going to change this, and I'm going to change it to the blue. Yeah, I'm taking this blue from our branding guidelines. Let's change this word. Okay. Click Save. Right. Now, I don't want this right at the top, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to drop it down one by clicking that little arrow. That's going to appear at the bottom then. Okay. So I might also want to drop in what this is about as well. So I'm going to take this second one here, and I'm just going to duplicate it. I'm going to drag this down, drop it in here, and put latest news and updates, and click Save. Good. Right. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this. I quite like this block, but I'm going to get rid of it at this stage. Let's throw in a new empty block. Put a row in. Text. And they're going to take some text I've already got prepared. Okay. Also, I'm going to show you in here that using the WYSIWYG editor, we can change the text size. So if I just select that text inside here, I can actually choose a different size. So if I wanted to go to something like 36, I could make that bigger there. It's a bit too big, like 30. And I could also make it bold in there if I wanted to as well. And of course, I can put an extra line drop in there and there. I probably want to use that, make that bold as well. So guys, I'm just playing around, but you get the idea. So you can say register now to be the first experiences in like state with new Zenler, and then you've got latest news, or I can put sign up here. I'm going to take this around a little bit, and I'm actually going to drop a little arrow in. So I'm going to go into elements now. I'm going to click there, that little plus. I'm going to go into icons, and I'm going to type inside here arrow, and I'm going to hit enter. So you can see I've got little arrows, and I tend to like this one. This is quite good. So I'm going to drop that little arrow in there, and I'm going to click in the settings, and I'm going to change the size of it. Nice and big. And that looks good. All right, so we've got our main page that tells people about the site. So a day with Zenler, featuring tips about using Zenler Platform. New Zenler's first ever, tells a little bit of information about Zenler itself. And then we've got stuff down there. Of course, you know, guys, you can format this or change it as much as you like. I'll probably come back to this, but as a start, this is a good start. So we've got all that stuff. I'm just going to preview this now to check what it looks like. That looks quite good. Don't like this blue on blue, looks a bit rubbish. So I'm going to actually go back into the brandings and change that bottom blue. So I'm going to go back into brandings, I'm going to come down here, and I think I want to make it more of a dark gray. So something like this, almost black. That's just going to just make it pop a little bit on the page. So if I refresh this now, then I've got something like that, which is good. And that works, you know, that works as a page. So you haven't created the whole site yet. You haven't got any courses in there or anything to sell. So you're basically trying to collect emails. So you've got that, you've used that same form that you did on the pre-launch page. So that's saving you time. You set the page up, it looks all right, you know, it's nice and clean, and it's something that you can add to. So we really need to go through and just check the rest of the pages. So once I've finished with this page, and I've saved it, I can close it off. Do remember that you need to do your SEO settings in here on every page, okay? And I'm going to close this down here and here. So we're back to the site. And we need to go through the other pages. So this is a case that you just need to go through all of these things. We've got things like unsubscribe. This is unsubscribe and subscribe is two areas where people forget to change the logo. So we definitely need to do that. This is if someone unsubscribes or subscribes to a mail. It's not really a page that shows by default, but we need to change it. So I'm going to go jump into edit and just change these pages through here. And then we are nearly there. So I'm hoping what will happen is I can get to finish the site and the course, and then I can make the pages look better. I can go in and just show you how to make them look even better. So by default, we have our Zenler logo in there. So you'll probably want to change that. So you want to go into the settings there, and you want to go to here, and you want to make sure you've got your image in here. So I'm going to go David Zenler. I'm going to upload without crop. And there we go. It's not the same without you. That's all right. That's fine. Click save. Again, make sure you SEO all your pages and save it again when you have. Then we're going to go into the next page, which is to subscribe. So I'm going to hit the edit button. We've got Rakesh is coming on at 10:30 to give you a little bit of information on Zenler itself, and you know, how long it's been around, these sort of things. So he's doing a little special presentation for you at 10:30, which is quite good because I can have a little break. So let's go and drop that in there. Click save. This is something people don't do. I've seen it a lot where people don't actually put their logo into the unsubscribe and subscribe page. It's a pretty common one, this. So you definitely want to be doing this. Notice also on these two pages, there was no header or footer. It's just a page like this. Okay, so I've done that. So now I'm going to go into notifications. Not really a lot I need to do with notifications. I'm going to hit the preview icon. You can see that's just default notifications. I don't need to change that page, so it's super easy. Communities is if we set up communities, and we haven't got any set up yet, so it won't really show a lot because there's nothing there. We've got our header, we got our footer, so it all looks good, so I don't need to touch that page. So see how quick it is. Now next we have the cookie policies and the sort of terms and conditions and privacy policy. So these are down the bottom here. So you might want to go in and reword these yourself, but they're all pretty good in there. So if I go in there, that just gives you the cookie policy. Go through that. You can see I've got my branding in there. Okay, it's better. So I don't need even to touch those pages, but you should look through, maybe reword them if you want to, stick a logo in there if you want to into the page. It's up to you. Don't need to touch that page. So I don't need to touch the all my courses page. Again, I haven't got any courses at the moment, so that's nothing in there. Don't need to register page. I'll talk about that in a minute. So we don't need terms and conditions, privacy, all courses. We haven't got any. So we just basically got the home page. So what we want to do now is we want to create about us page. So this is going to be good. But just before I do, you know, our pre-launch page that we did right at the beginning, it'd be really good to have a thank you page afterwards, wouldn't it? So we're going to do that. We're going to come in here and I'm going to clone this page. So there's a little bit of an interruption to the flow here because I should have done it earlier, but that's what happens when you do lives. Let's click the gear icon and do pre-launch, and let's call this thank you or thanks. Okay. And then I'll put pre-launch in here and I'll put thanks. Okay. Whoops, Daisy, there we go. And I'll click update. Okay, so that's going to be my thank you page. So I'm going to come into here now. I'm going to click edit. I'm going to go into the page and I'm going to put thank you. I can get rid of the form, it doesn't need to go into the page. And then I'm going to tie it up with the button that we've got on the pre-launch page. And then we're going to jump in, we're going to make an about us page, and then we're kind of done. We've got it. So we're going to have our register page, we're going to have our about us page, and then we are pretty much on target at 10:30, which is when Rakesh is coming on. So let's do this. Stay with Zenler. Let's change this. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let me just put that in there. Let's peel that off. Okay, I think I'm going to leave, maybe leave the block in there. Let's move this down into here. Oops. Oh, I need to add a row first. Guys, this is what's great about Zenler. You can take these blocks and you can sort of drag them around. That's good. So thanks for joining us. Click save. All right, so we're finished with that. Again, make sure you SEO it up. Going to jump back to that page. So hold on, just need to save it. You do get warnings come up. If you haven't saved it properly and you try and close it, it will tell you, which is good. So I want to go back to what is our home page at the moment, and I want to put a link so that when someone clicks that submit button, they go through to this button. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to copy it, Control C. I'm going to jump and edit this pre-launch page, and we're going to put that in there as the thank you page. So basically it means someone puts their name in, their email, they hit sign up, they'll go to the thank you page instead of the little green success coming up. All right, so let's click the little button. let's go to settings, and where it says post submit action, let's go and say go to a link, and let's paste that link in that we copied, which was the thank you page. Let's now click save. Okay, let's go and test it out. Let's go to incognito. Okay, don't need that part at the end. So I'm testing this out again. I'm going to use the same email that I used before. So let's go David, jumping across to my emails. Let's click pre-register. And there we go. So I've now signed up and it's taken me to a thank you page. Of course, you know, you can put more content in there, you know, it's up to you, but it's that simple. Okay, so we finished that. You know how to do a thank you page, you know how to do that pre-register page, you know how to set up the branding, you know how to set up that first page, which is the most important page. So we're now ready to do, we're not launching the site yet. We just got to do the About Us page now. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm actually going to just add a page. So you remember before we cloned a page, which you can do, that's fine. It's a good way to start, but you can also create a page from blank. So you can also go into add a page and you can say, right, let's call this About Us. So let me just write about Zenler. Okay, and let's go and copy that and put that in there. I'm going to publish the page as well. So I click that, I've got blank, and I'm going to click add. All right, so this blank page, it gives you the header, it gives you the footer. Okay, the rest of it is blank. You can do what you like. So I need to get my Word document out again, and I need to take the text and put it in here. Okay, let's jump straight into this. Add a row, add an element, H1 element. Okay. So let's go now and start to put in our copy. So I'm just going to basically do some one line of copy, and then I'm going to break it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I've got a row, 2 rows of 3. Sorry, I'm looking at when I'm looking at this stuff, I'm looking at my document to see how I'm going to kind of lay it out to make it look good. Right. So let's come in here. I'm going to have a very clean layout for this one. So there we go. I think I'm going to change this to the blue to echo some of the other pages. So a bit more of a pure blue. Okay, good. Let's now take this, duplicate it, throw it under there. Grab this, duplicate it. So it's really simple design I'm doing here, just echoing a top color, then a bottom color, and I'll change this and flick it out for the orange. So it's a pretty common thing to do. There you go. Gives it a nice color. So now I'm going to grab a bit of different text here. Okay, that's good. Right, now I'm going to come into this row here, and I'm going to do a 3 column. Okay, so I've now got my first 3 column, and inside here I'm going to drop in an H2 heading. Okay, I'm going to mirror this. So I'm going to duplicate it out, and we're going to drop a new one in here. And I'm going to duplicate out again. We're going to drop a new one in there, like that. I'm going to put some stuff in here. I've got this text. See, the longest part of actually creating a Zenler site is actually getting all your copy and maybe your images together, those kind of things. The actual site building itself, if you've got an idea of what you want to do, is really quick. So I'm going to come into here now and just grab some text. Okay. Got to do something. You can see the way it's jumped up and down there. That's all right. We can sort that out in a minute. So okay, let's use the duplicate method. Come on, there we go. A little tip as well, when you're dragging things around, just hold it in that position for a little bit. That's good. Right, you can see it's kind of out of the line because these sentences are kind of, well, let me just show you. That way you can sort of see what could happen. This is what a lot of people are like, oh, look, that's out of position. I want it all to be positioned. It's really easy. You can just come in here onto the row, all right? Hit the little gear icon. And then when you come back to here, where it says vertical alignment, instead of center, we're just going to pick top. And then bang, it's all right. So that's a big problem that people have. So this is what I love about site building, because as you go through it, you're like, oh, that's something that people do all the time. So I'll just show them how to fix it. So let's go in here and drop a little image. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to find the exact image I want, right? Because I probably won't. So generally I make my own images up, but you can use Pixabay to do this. So if I grab this little image here, I can come in and duplicate it out. This is a real speed shortcut for you guys as well, duplicating content and then changing it. So a lot of people drop the block in again, go and search for the image, and you can do it quickly by just hitting the gear icon, like cloning it, hitting the gear icon and coming into here and then putting something like people. Of course, you know, you spend your time doing this. Let's leave it as the crop, which has got there. It's good. And we're going to go to automation. I'm not sure what will come up for automation. Okay, let's look for something nice. That's nice, like that. Yeah, that'd be more of a robot type site. That's not bad. Let's use that. So I'm going to leave it with the original crop there. Actually, I'll bring it a little bit bigger. Crop and insert. There we go. So see what's happened there. Because we've changed the crop, we've actually got a different crop in there. So this is something to bear in mind when you're doing it and why I did this. If you're doing stuff in line and you don't want to actually physically resize stuff using an image editing program where you've got full control, then keep things consistent. Like if you're doing a crop for things, make sure you keep that crop going through. So if I want to make it the same size, what I'll do is I'll hit the URL and I'll go and look for that image again. Automations, and then I'll click and grab this image, which is one I wanted to, and I'm going to leave the crop as I did for all the others. So I can move it around, but I'm just going to go crop and insert, and now what will happen is it will be exactly the same. This is another question that's asked a lot. You can see it's now in there. If, of course, you can use your own image editing software, using something like Photoshop or Pixel, then you can bring images in. You can make sure they're all exactly the same size as each other. but that's how to do it. So that's a nice little page we set up there, which I think works quite well. So obviously we've got tons of features with Zenler, but what I'll do is I'll add another little block, and I'll just run out the rest of them. So I'm going to take this, duplicate it, move it into here, and I can run out some more. That kind of thing. So let's just click save to that. Obviously, you know, add as much content as you want in there. Make sure you SEO it up for sure. Click save again. And this is the about page. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie this into the site. So at the moment, you can see we've got home, all courses, and support. Now, the support page, I'll show you in a minute, but at the moment, I'm going to add this about page. So I'm going to come into this menu system, and I'm going to click the little gear icon, and I'm going to jump across to the menu, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to put in here about us. All right. And I'm going to go select an article. I'm going to go to a link. Right. So now I want to select this link page. So I'm going to go back to pages. I'm going to grab the URL, copy. Inside here, we're going to paste that link in there, and I'm going to click save. Notice you can also have it so it opens up in a new tab if you wanted to. I'm going to click save now, and I'm going to click save. And I'm going to click preview in a second. And now you're going to have this about us page come up. So if I go to home, it's going to take me to that launch page. But if I went to any of the other pages, I can get to that about us page. So that's how you can set an about us page up. Now, if Rakesh is about, I want to jump across. There's Rakesh. So I think he's online.
Hey, can you see me?
Hi, Rakesh.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I think, yes. Can you hear me okay?
I'm a little bit late. I got carried away. I just got into the zone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of internet issues. Hopefully I can, hopefully it stays on. So yeah, I think you guys can probably see, how quickly you can create site and courses on Zenler. I think, David, if you want to take a break, I'll take it up from here, and you can continue once you're back, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah,
cool.
I'll put you on speaker mode here, so you're
yeah.
There we go. All right, I'll see you in a minute.
Cool. You stopped the screen share, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, David. Cool. Thanks everyone for joining on the live. Let me just take a few questions before I start. Let me just share the screen. It's gone. Cool. I think there is a question from, let me just take a look. Yeah, I think Jackie says, I cannot attend live. Will we be able to access a replay? Absolutely, Jackie. This is being streamed live to the Facebook group. So you should be able to access the replay at any time. Beth says, I got stuck making a form yesterday. It worked in the end, but initially it looked like it was working, but then the page didn't show up properly. When I changed the page name, it was okay. Initially, I used subscribe as the page name and so on. I think Beth, I think support, if you send the details to support, probably they can have a look at it. Tracy, hey Tracy. Tracy asks, in a live webinar funnel on the replay page, is it possible to have a countdown timer that when it gets to 0, it goes to the new page automatically? Timer to activate at a specific physical time, not when someone opens the replay page. So what Tracy wants is at a particular time, let's say 10 a.m. tomorrow, she wants the replay page to be sent to a particular, to another page and so on, especially if you are running like a limited time offers and so on. So let me share the screen and see, show you that. So let me share the screen, share my desktop, probably easier. Cool. Yeah, so I am, hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let me just expand it. Yeah, so I am on the webinar. I've loaded the webinar replay page. So on the webinar replay page, you can click add element, and you just need to search for, let's say, you want to add a countdown timer. Just search for countdown, and I can pick any countdown from here. And when you click on the countdown, and when you click on the settings gear icon, you can see that there are two types of timers. One is the evergreen timer, and one is the date countdown timer. Evergreen means that whenever someone lands on the page, whenever they land, they're going to be given X amount of time until they can see the page, and then the timer kicks in, the timer expiry kicks in. So if you want to count it down to a particular date, then you can use the date countdown option, and then you can say tomorrow, Saturday, you can say 10 a.m. I want it to count 10 a.m. I want to take a particular action. So when the counter expires, when the countdown hits 0, I want this particular page, replay page, to automatically redirect to another page. So here I can set the new page link. So I can actually set the new page link here. Page link here. Then when the countdown hits 0, the page will automatically redirect to that particular page. So yeah, so you can do whatever you're trying to do. You can easily do that with the date countdown option on the countdown timer. Hopefully that explains the question, Tracy. If anyone has any other questions, let us know in the chat and we can take a look. Johan says, how do I make A/B testing in a funnel? So what Johan wants to know knows how he can send traffic to 2 pages, to 2 funnels, and then see which one is performing the best, and then select the winner. So currently, Johan, we do not have any option to do A/B testing directly. We currently do not have that option, but we plan, this is actually on our roadmap to be able to for you to be able to do A/B testing. Yeah, but I think there is the couple of, few others on the group I've suggested using Google Optimize. So if you take a look at this, I think if you search for Google Optimize, you can see this pretty much you should be able to do A/B testing. So you need to use Google Optimize, search for Google Optimize. It's called Google Optimize, and you search that, you should be able to, I don't think we have any support tutorials around it, but you should be able to do all these A/B testing and all of that using Google's Optimize tool. So hopefully, yeah. So we don't have it natively on the platform, but I think that is the way to do right now if you want to really do that. Mary says how large the logo should be. I think if you look at the support document, I'll share a link to that soon. There you can see all the dimensions that, all the recommended dimensions that we recommend you to use. So you can do that. Johan says, okay, thanks. I think it's important to be able to optimize every step of the funnels to increase opt-in and sales. Absolutely. Yeah. So so for now, you need to use an external tool like Google Optimize to do that. Tracy says, yes, thanks. This might solve my situation with a membership so that I can transfer it all to Zenler. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So with Tracy's referring to the date countdown option on the countdown. Yes, you can do that with the countdown option on the date countdown option on Zenler countdowns. Beth says I sorted it and then excellent, well done, Beth. Yeah, sometimes sometimes when you play around, you kind of figure out what's going on anyway. Can you show the step again on what you make? Okay, that's probably for David. I think that's pretty much all the questions I can see. Let me share the screen here. I think I thought I'll just do a quick screen share and show you, give you a sort of timeline of how Zenler came about and what what is the background of the team and how did we reach where we are right now. So let's take a quick look. Yeah, so I just want to quickly go through the backstory. So in 2008, we created a few products around Microsoft plugins. So these were like Microsoft PowerPoint templates and PowerPoint add-ons, several different PowerPoint add-ons like quizzes and so on. So which will sit directly inside Microsoft PowerPoint. That was one of the first products that we launched. And I think we also had a product. So PowerPoint could not be viewed online. So we created a tool for PowerPoint for users to be able to convert PowerPoint to a Flash so that you can put these PowerPoint presentations online. And I think in 2015, Apple literally killed Flash, Macromedia Flash. And that's when we scrapped the Flash product, and then we created, I think it was the world's first PowerPoint to HTML5 PowerPoint converter. So, and you can see that in working in Zenler right now. If you add a PowerPoint lesson, this exact PowerPoint to HTML5 converter SDK runs in the background. So this is a market-leading converter, and it's used by several top organizations, and it converts literally your Microsoft PowerPoint presentation with all the animations and all the custom animations, all the complex stuff that you got on even your triggers and everything to PowerPoint, so that it plays exactly the way it is on the internet or on your PowerPoint lesson. So yeah, so a lot of our PowerPoint users, a lot of our HTML5 point users, the PowerPoint HTML5 solution, the product we had, a lot of our users were from training departments. So that's when we created Zenler Studio. So we created Zenler Studio for users to be able to easily create e-learning content. So in 2011, we launched the first version of Zenler Studio e-learning authoring tool. So basically, it was basically a PowerPoint plugin where users can drag and drop stuff in and then create content and then publish onto the favorite LMS systems. And again, this goes hand in hand with a learning management system. So we launched Zenler Online, and Zenler Online we launched in Learning Technologies Exhibition and Expo at Excel London, and I think it was 2011. And we had quite a lot of organizations, including the likes of Ferrari, using the platform and running their entire training with Zenler Online LMS. But we found it really, really hard to get traction to really break into this large organizations with huge learning and development teams. It was quite difficult. It was quite difficult for us to break into those organizations who had established relationship with all the top vendors like Blackboard and so on. So it wasn't really plain sailing. And then we kind of we were like literally struggling, to get into these organizations. And then out of the blue, we started getting started getting emails like this. This was one of the first emails we got, asking us, can we use your learning management system to really sell my work? So here David is asking, can I sell my work using Zenler Online? So back then we did not have an e-commerce side to the platform, because it was, why would you? Because the Zenler Online LMS was only meant for organizations. Here we are. There are lots of people are now started asking for to to be able to use the LMS to be able to sell online courses. So we started getting a lot of these requests, mainly because platforms like Udemy, there are lots of unhappy users where Udemy was kind of taking control of their data, and they didn't really have much visibility there and much visibility of the branding there. So they wanted to create their own sites. They didn't want to build their own systems using WordPress and so on. So they wanted to just use a platform that does everything for them. So that's when we launched Zenler Online Schools in 2014. You can see it's pretty much pretty crappy looking site. This is 2014, and yeah, but it did it work, and it did its work. So you could just sign up and just create online courses, and then quite simply use PayPal to sell it. And we used to have a payment gateway, and we used to handle all the payments and so on. But it was pretty basic. It didn't have much features that all the other platforms later on that came later on had. And we had like lots of feature requests to upgrade the platform. By this time, we had around 10,000, more than 10,000 online instructors using the Zenler Online Schools platform. And we did not have a pricing plan. We did not have a paid plan. Everything was, we just used to take like a 10% cut of whatever we used to sell. That again was not really sustainable model. And we had lots of requests to upgrade the old platform. And we did not want to create a platform, just looking at other platforms and adding those features. We analyzed all the data that we collected from all the 10,000 instructors we had. We kind of literally had, we did around, I think, 400 or 500 direct one-to-one Zoom calls to understand what instructors need, what they actually need today. So to be able to build a platform based on what their needs, rather than making it up or thinking this is what they need. So we analyzed all the data, and then we asked them one important question: what is the single biggest? What are the biggest frustrations when it comes to selling online courses? So the biggest challenge we found that around 95% of the instructors faced was sales and marketing. So we wanted to create the platform that's entirely based on sales and marketing. Now this is pre-COVID, and now post-COVID things have changed, and sales and marketing, a lot of things needs live aspects as well. So that's when we started looking at the live aspects of it as well. So we want to create a platform that's entirely centered on marketing, around user engagement, that is live and everything, and a platform that gives you all the marketing tools, all the marketing funnels you need to generate sales and leads. It's all good creating a course out there, but if you can't really sell it, there's no point of it's not much point. So you should be able to create, generate leads and then sell your courses. A platform, again, we want to create a platform where you can see 100-feet view of what is going on your site. So you can exactly see where the students drop off and so on. A platform where, again, it helps you set up your email marketing, email automation, without needing the likes of ConvertKit and MailChimp and so on. And doing all of that, we wanted to make sure we create the best in class, the best possible online course platform that's just better than anyone out there. A platform, again, that lets you run social network style communities. We are fully not there yet, but we are working on revamping that. And a platform that helps you promote your courses using webinars, live classes, live video classes, all of it without any programming, without any design or any marketing skills, which again, you just saw David creating a site in no time, like in less than around 60 minutes, creating all of that without any programming or design skills. That is what we built the new Zenler platform. It's intended to automate your marketing, your email marketing. It's a fully featured course platform. It's click and edit and drag and drop page designer. Again, we are constantly iterating it all the time, and we are working on rebuilding what we have with themes and so on, so we can have world-class themes on the page editor. And again, you can create community and run live webinars and live classes without needing without needing, any webinar software, or because we have included, we use Zoom internally so that you don't need to use your own Zoom for your live classes or live interactive webinars, and so on. So yeah, so a platform where it allows you to do all sorts of course creation, allows you to use all kinds of course creation features, and it's intended to replace Teachable, Thinkific, and Kajabi, all the major platforms. And marketing, again, intended to replace ClickFunnels, Cartfly, and so on. Again, give you all the marketing funnels you need. We only have 2 funnels right now, but you can create any type of funnel if you want. And we are in the process of adding more funnel types as well. And again, email automation, it replaces all the tools, so, pretty much all the tools like MailChimp, ConvertKit, and ActiveCampaign. So if you need some pretty basics, and if you need basic segmentation, the new Zenler mail is all you need. If you need very, very complex automation, then probably you probably need to look at ActiveCampaign and so on. One day, I think we will get there as well. So yeah, Page Designer, pretty much drag and drop. So we wanted to bring the Divi, like the WordPress to Divi, like functionality to the course platforms. And most of the course platforms, they're just like pretty hard coded and you can't even change anything. But here you have a platform where you can literally design, create the page the way you want. It replaces all the leading page creation tools. And okay, I think I'm going up. Okay, and community. Community again, without needing likes of Mighty Networks and so on. Again, they're rebuilding the community so that it looks, it works. It has all the features that you need. And live classes, live interactive webinars, and live streams. So the live stream that you are on right now is done via New Zenler Live. So we use our own tools so that we are on page with what is going on and what are your issues and so on. And again, it replaces all the tools like GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams, and so on. And again, you don't need to use your own. You don't need to have your own Zoom, another subscription that you can cancel. Yeah, this is not on the roadmap. I should change it. It's already live, so it replaces Zoom and so on. Yeah, so the old way, you had to literally hack around 20 plus tools to create and sell and online courses and also to engage. Now we have created a platform where you can do everything, including live classes, live webinars, your courses, marketing funnels, automation, everything in a single tool. And that is the new Zenler platform. And I think that's a quick timeline and a quick overview of what, why we are doing what we are trying to do, and how we are building the platform that is entirely around your pains, and everything we do is entirely around what you guys need. I think that's pretty much it from my side. I think I answered a couple of questions as well, David. So I think back to you.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's fantastic. So you can see there, Zenler isn't just popped up overnight. It's been around for a long time and been developing. And of course, as Rakesh mentioned there, it's all built around what you need. We looked at all the pain points and we're addressing them. And, even if we find new ones, they are integrated in. You've seen how active we are with all our updates and everything that we do. And in fact, we did a 12-month retrospect not long ago. When was that? Monday. It's going to be about five lives this week, so I'm a little bit kind of like, whoa, it's all going on. So I want to show you a bit of that as well, because I think it's just before I get back onto the site, I think it's really interesting for you to sort of see what's kind of happened. I'm going to flash through it because I've already got it on the channel. We've already got it on the YouTube channel. So you can see anyway, but it's definitely worth having a quick look for you guys that haven't seen what we've been up to. So let me just screen share this, and here we go. So a year with Zenler. I've got a funny thing going on there. I don't know what that is. Don't worry about it. So yeah, in just 12 months, we've got 22 new feature releases. We got like 500 plus minor changes and fixes. So we've got a ton of things that have gone on. We've got, live sessions, extended sessions up to 4 hours. We've got new assignment features. Remember, a lot of these are for pro and premium users. We've got reoccurring lives. We've got Facebook pixel integration. We've got social media login. All of these have been asked from you. And we've also done like the branding for the course player as well. We've got a new blog feature, which is massive. We're going to upload thumbnails for videos. By the way, you can also use Canva to design your course cards and to design your video thumbnails as well. Saving blocks, you can save blocks out and then use them in another page. So that's in there as well. Plus, things like Razorplay integration for the Indian marketplace, which is massive, absolutely huge. First platform to do that. And there's quite a few things that we're the first platform to do, by the way. Copy lessons, this was asked by you. We've got new setup fees, initial fee, again, all asked by you. Paid trials for subscription, new FAQ blocks, which again was asked from you. Custom domain automations, global includes for all pages for putting code in and things like that, like Google Analytics, apply branding, switching options, blockwise. Got font family, font weight, new lesson descriptions, new live stream feature, new live webinar features. You can just see it's huge. Just 12 months roughly equates to about 2 new major feature releases a month, which is staggering, staggering. Okay, so from the educational side, we've produced over 500 plus videos. We've done 144 Ask Zenlers, 37 Facebook help. We've done 16 lives. Actually, it's 17 lives now. Actually, I think it's about 20 lives now. So yeah, 1 8-hour session. That was a day with Zenler, and obviously we're doing this session now as well. So it's our second one. Office hours, we run that once a week, and we've been doing that for an age. Marketing course we've got up, and that will be going evergreen at some point. We got course challenges. Kevin's run 3 multiple lives, and he's done a blog challenge, one of those, and he's made it evergreen as well. A day with Zenler, as I mentioned. YouTube channel has gone from 0 to 2,000 subscribers. Facebook from 3,000 to 6.5. Just in 12 months. Courses, as I mentioned a few of those at the beginning of this, was the NZ Masterclass Bundle, which features a plethora of courses, including the Quick Start Guide, plus a new onboarding sequence for people coming into the platform. Complete Guide to Zenler, which is an encyclopedia of Zenler. Live workshop replays, so we try and put them in there so you guys don't miss out, even if you can't attend. Ethically copy a site, hardware, software, check sheet for Zenler, ninja tricks, branding design, template blocks, plaque downloads, 5-day blogging challenge by Kevin, Zenler Basics Marketing with now over 8,613 students on our courses. And also a big thank you to the community as well for all your help. You are amazing, you guys, helping each other out, and and it's continuing. We're trying to build this. I know, like in the marketing course I'm doing, I'm trying to get like people that are in the same sectors to kind of work together, backlinking their sites from one to another to draw traffic in there. So this is something that I think is could be pivotal. And I think it's almost worth setting something up or doing some sort of live where people are coming in, or you're talking on the Facebook group about stuff that you're doing, and finding a little community of your own. You can take them away from Zenler and you can just talk to yourself. You're all using the Zenler platform, but you can maybe work together. It's like, I'll give you an example. Like I'm doing ZBrush light sculpting. That's what I'm specializing in now. I've moved away from things like using Maya, animation programs, compositing programs, that sort of thing. I'm just purely focusing on ZBrush because that gives me the most joy. But I know a lot of my friends and things are doing sites. One in particular, Michael Ricks, who does what's called Unity, which is like a games engine, which allows you to take 3D stuff and put it in there. So I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to backlink to each other, and I want to find more people that are doing the stuff that I'm doing so I can backlink in the site, because that helps my search engine goes up. That also drives traffic into my site, and from from my site drives traffic into their site. So these are really powerful things. Remember, guys, you've got a community of 6.5K members. If you're working together, you're stronger. Okay. You're asking and people are helping you, but we can take this to the next level. You know, you can almost build marketplace within your own sites with other people that aren't in your niche, but are doing things that are different to you that you think might work. And that way you can get even closer with these people and help everybody. So this is kind of my goal. This is my long-term push. It's not really a thing that I'm not asking for a new feature or any of those things. I'm asking for the community to work together to help market yourselves better. And I think that's going to be key. And that's what I'm trying to work towards for the end part of this year and into next year, to get something set up where we can actually get some real good work going on, and obviously testimonials on what you've done and achieved and those sort of things. Now, we've also already started bringing people in, experts in the field. For instance, like I do branding and stuff as part of my work, but I'm not an expert. I don't specialize in that. So I brought Ian Hamilton in, and he's a specialist in that. So why not use all you guys that are experts to come in and do a bit of a talk about it? Just had Howard Whiteson on, who's a charisma coach, and he talked and showed how to be better on camera, how to lose doing ums and ahs and those kind of things inside your videos. Again, it's gold dust. Those videos are in there, did an there as well. So I'm not up to speed yet, but working on it. So those videos are all going to be in there. They're all accessible by you. And like all this stuff is free, you know, all this training that we do, all the way we're trying to support you. It's all free. And we don't just say, oh, it's only for pro and premium members. No, we support everybody, because we realize that you free users, you know, you want to know the platform. And then when you love it, you'll just be going into pro and premium platform payments anyway. So by helping everybody, we're just being open and transparent about everything we do. So I really hope you enjoyed that post by Rakesh there, because when I first saw that, I didn't really know how far sort of Zenler went back and what they were trying to do and achieve and all these things. I knew it was cutting edge stuff that they were doing, and I could see all the new releases, but I didn't really know the background. And I think that really helps you, because it really gives the site more authority. You know it's not just popped up from nowhere. You know it's been around for a long time. You know our ethos of putting you guys first, which is the biggest problem with sites, in my opinion. These learning management sites, or even sites like Udemy, they look at themselves first and then they give out to you. But it's actually us. It's us that have the power to make the platform good or not. And I think some platforms miss that. And it's a really big thing with me. I get really disgruntled at platforms that don't listen to what I'm saying. So as a course creator, and I'm sure you're the same, I'm sure that's probably why a lot of you have come across to Zenler, because of the community aspect and the way that we listen to what you're saying. So I'm going to end on that, and we're going to jump back to the course, the site build. Now, obviously, you know, I've been talking about this site and showing you extra things as I'm working through, but do realize that I have been telling you these things. I could do this a lot quicker. You know, I reckon what we've seen so far, I could probably do that in about half an hour, right? So bear that in mind. So it's quick. The system's quick. So let me just share my screen again. So this is where we're up to. We did an About Us page. So look, we're going to have a look at the site as we've got it at the moment. There are a few things we need to change, because we have things like the register page, the sign up, the login page. All of those can be customized. There's certain things you cannot remove, or you should not remove, like some of the forms that are built in there for people to log in, these kind of things. But we're going to have a look at what we've got so far. So we set up that home page and we set up that About Us page. So I'm going to jump into incognito now, and we're going to have a look. So at the moment, we have this launch page. So you click this and you can pre-register. There's no header, no footer. We haven't even got a logo in there, but it means that you can work on the site behind the scenes. So we have that all set up. So we want to jump in and see our actual site. So I'm going to go down to our proper homepage there, and we're going to jump back in and hit enter. And as a user, you're going to see all courses, support, and about us. Now the support, and we've got a sign in there. Now, if we click the sign in, you're going to see that you go to a login page. So that doesn't look too cool, does it? It's not got our colors, all these sort of things. So we want to make this page look better for sure. The about us page we finished, so we're happy with that. But we've also got a support page. These are where general questions can be sent to you. Again, the form's not the same. It looks like the form in the sign up form, which is good. They match, but we need to make them better. We've also got all courses as well. We haven't got any courses, so we really at this point don't need that page. So let's go and just tick all those pages off, and then we're ready to kind of move on. So let's go into the login page first of all. I'm going to jump into the edit button there. Remember, it's a little pencil icon by the side. I'm just going to close these down so it becomes very clear for you guys to follow.
Hey David, how you doing?
Hiya Kevin, how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. I thought I'd hop in for a minute.
Brilliant. Yeah, Kevin, if you want to mention anything, welcome.
I'm sort of just hijacking for a couple of minutes whilst you're loading your pages up. I'm going to be doing a little session this afternoon to give your voice a break, because a 6-hour session, as anyone that's done live streaming for this amount of time will know, it takes its toll on your hydration and on the throat. So at that point, you probably would have built most of your site by then and working towards putting a course together. So I'm going to jump in and do a half an hour driving traffic, marketing your site type of thing. So there's going to be no slides. It's going to be old fashioned, get your notepads out. And I'm going to give the people that are around and available around about 4 o'clock some really great information on how they can easily drive new traffic and leads into their new Zenler sites.
That's brilliant. Are you how long are you going to be on for, Kev? Just so I know, because I've got to build a course.
20 minutes, half an hour.
Oh, brilliant. All right. That's
yeah,
fabulous.
it's not going to be a long time, but enough time for you to get your voice back.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. So there you go. We've got that to look forward to as well. That was sprung on us live. This is the beauty of live, isn't it, Kevin? We love it.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll get on with this now. And so what you can see as I've gone into the login page and I've just like colored the background, just giving it a little bit more of a different look than we've got. Now, please be aware that we have for login page, we have some different blocks going on now. So we got this default page here. This login page is different, but we do have some blocks in here that we can use to actually do things like sign-ups, where we can actually sign up with social media. So you can see here, I've got another one. This is the one I'm using at the moment. You can see that's the one on the screen, but we also have a login one here with social media. So we also have a login one here where you've got the login social media just underneath. So you can choose these blocks. It's not going to mess anything up. You can just go and drag it straight in here. Okay. And then now I don't need this block at the bottom. I can come down here and I can basically delete it out. So like that. Now I've got a lovely social media block in there where they can actually continue with Google, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm going to go and put my default background color in there like that. And I'm just going to click save. So now I've altered the look and feel of my login page. Again, remember to SEO everything up. So I'm not going to do that for time. And then I hit save again. And now I have a new login with that blue color behind. So let's jump into the next one, which is register. So I'm going to hit the register icon. A little tip here, if you're editing multiple pages, sometimes it's a good idea to have that tab open for the last page that you did, and then you can jump between them. It's just like for a design point of view, if you go in there and you put an image in there and you think, oh, that looks better, I'd like to put that in the login page as well. You've automatically got the login page open and you don't have to wait for the editor to load up, which can take a little bit of time depending on your connection speed. So once again, for the sign up, I'm going to drop the new block in here, which is the social block. So I'm going to go to sign up down here, and you're going to see, don't drag the login block, by the way, guys. Look for the proper block that you need to put in there. I'm going to choose that one because it's the same style, and I'm going to drag that across there. And there we go. We've got our new block in there. So I can safely remove this block and click there. And notice by default, we have reCAPTCHA turned on to stop people from, or bots from hitting your site and trying to sign up and log in. So this is something to bear in mind. So with this block, instead of the orange, the blue color, I'm actually just going to choose a, I will choose a background in a minute, but I'm just going to choose the orange. Okay, so we've got something like that. So there's a little bit of difference. If we want to put a background image in and a tint, we can go ahead and again, you can either upload your own image or you can drop an image in there like this, you know, change that position if it doesn't look right, like there. And you could even change the spacing there, and then I could say, right, okay, well, I like that image, but I want an overlay because it's a bit big, so I'm going to go to overlay color. I'm going to pick that orange, and then I'm going to bring this back to like that, and then you've got something going on in the background. And I'm like, well, I like that looks really good. So what I'll do, because I've got the other page open, I'll just jump into this one and do the same. So I'm going to go into there, I'm going to go to background image, and I might choose a different picture for this one. So let's choose something like that. And then I'll go and grab the overlay color, grab the blue for this page, and then I'll bring that tint up a bit. I'll go in there and bring this down a little bit here. By the way, guys, you know, you can come into the row area and you can do a little bit of spacing bottom just to give it a little bit more space. So I'm working on 2 pages at the same time now. So you can see that just by working efficiently, you can save yourself a lot of time. I know a lot of people have said, oh, you know, the page builder takes a long time to load and all those things. But if you've got the pages open and you jump in between them, you can leave them open, go back, make change. So, and there you go. Because once the page builder loads, it's then really quick. You know, we are, by the way, I think Rakesh mentioned, we're working on Page Builder 2.0. This is a complete revamp on the way Page Builder works. It will be actually bringing in less code. So it will work much, much quicker on initial load. Okay. I think the page builder as we have it at the moment works really quick. I'm demonstrating it live and we've had no problems. So there we go. So that's that. So we've done that. We we go into our site and we test this stuff. You know, this is what I do. I test it all the time. You might think, oh, well, he doesn't test his site to see if it's working. But I do. I test it all the time. So again, I want to take this page here. We're nearly ready to launch this page. And then I will have done this, build a site in 3 hours, probably a lot less than that. So we go to support. That's a page we need to change. If I go to the sign up page, that looks good. I've also got the register page, which I haven't put the link on there. So register. And there we go. We've got a lovely register page. So the page I need to change is support page. So I'm going to jump to the support page. Notice I've got the other 2 pages open. Support, click that edit button. Bang, I'm in there. And when this loads, which will be, you'll see sometimes that I'll jump to other pages whilst things are loading, because I can see that going around. I'll actually jump and I'll work on other pages. So then I can just jump back. When it's finished loading, I can jump back to that page and work straight away. Again, that's a little tip for you. Again, the reCAPTCHA's on by default. We're going to go and choose a background image for this. I'm going to choose this one for this one because I think it's a cool picture. And I like the middle area of this. There we go. Let's go and choose a background overlay. Now, I want this to be a little bit different to the other colors. So I might actually breach a little bit into the darker or more of a yellowy color. Something like that. Okay. I'm definitely going to bring a bit more into here. And I'm going to go into this here and I'm going to add some at the bottom. And I'm going to click save. Okay. SEO your page. All right, let's check it out. This is the exciting bit where you're really close, you know, like I'm nearly so close to launching this site. So I've got this. What happens if I hit the sign up button? That's good. That takes me to that login page. If I go to About Us, it's going to give me a bit of information. That looks good. Go to support. I've got that lovely line there. All courses. I don't need that page. So I'm just going to close this down. Go back into any of these, because remember, this is a dynamic block. So I want to go into the menu here and I want to delete out all courses. Okay, that's gone. I'm going to click save. I'm going to go straight back into incognito, copying this page. Okay, now I haven't got that. I've got that. Support. Someone can send a support question. About us. Sign in, and we have a fully developed site. Now at the bottom, do remember to check things like the cookie policies and your social media links, which I'm going to cover in a second. So this is the cookie policy page. That looks good. I'm going to go into the privacy policy page. We have a pop-up going on this page, which I probably don't want on. Let's go to terms and conditions. That's good. Support. That's good. Courses, we haven't got any, so I probably want to remove that from the footer. So you see how I'm really carefully going through each of the links and making sure that everything's working before I launch. So I'm going to go down again. This is a dynamic block, so if I change it on one, it will happen on all of the rest. So I'm going to go into this now and click that little setting in there, go to the menu, and where I've got courses, I'm going to remove this. Delete that out. That looks good. Now, YouTube, social media. Got YouTube on the brain. Social media, you can add or remove links. So I'm going to go to our Facebook group, copy. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to jump back into this editor. And where I've got Facebook, I'm going to edit this. So I'm going to wait for that to come up. And you can see visible to all, action, go to link. I'm going to put that link in there. I'm going to open it in a new tab and I'm going to click update. Okay, so really easy, guys, to add links in there. So I'm going to remove these. Let me just remove them. I'm just going to leave the YouTube and the Facebook one on there. But I'm going to show you how to add one as well. So if I wanted to add a new social media, what you can do is you can pick an icon in here. You can actually type. So if I wanted Twitter, I'd type twit. And then I could put the Twitter in there, or I could type Twitter. And then you can click it and that little icon will go on, and then you go visible to all, or you could have it for logged in, logged out users. And the action that you want to perform on it is obviously go to a link. So you click that, put the link in there, open in a new tab, and then they would go through to it. So it's as simple as that. Really easy to work out the social media. So it's asking me for a link. You need to just put something in if you need to delete it in a second, which I'm going to do by deleting in there. So the next thing I want to do is just put in my YouTube link. So I'm going to open that link up there. I'm going to then click YouTube, and I should have our Zenler one there. I'm going to copy that. Copy. Back to the page. Put our one there, open in a new tab, click update, bang. Now let's just click save, and let's do a test of this, a final test before I launch. So I'm going to go back to the page again, copy this, go to incognito. That looks good. I've got my social media. That's going to go, look down here on the left hand side just to check the links. There's youtube.com/C Zenler. And that goes to the Facebook group, which is New Zenler Beta. And then we have all of our windows in there. And that looks good. So I'm happy with this. I can launch. I know everything's working. You might want to test your form out just again, just to make sure, as is the way. But this form is taken from the other form. So there's no reason why it would not work. But test it, I'll say it again. So now we have a site that's ready to go. We've got no course material at the moment. So you might want to put up coming soon, register now, be the very first experience in like State with Zenler. Yeah, you could put something like in there, like coming soon or launching in, and add more pages if you wanted to. Really easy. So now we're going to make this live. So let's do it. home page. Select our home page, which is here. By the way, let me just show you something. It's saying home page because it's written down there, but it doesn't mean we have to have it as home page. And in fact, you shouldn't have it called home page, right? Why? Because we want it for SEO reasons to have the URL that's going to be specific to what we're trying to create. Okay, so this is actually quite a good title. It's like Day with Zenler because it's got the word Zenler in it. So search results are going to bring it up. They're not going to show the search results of home. Okay, it's not going to mean anything. So I'm very much a believer in URLs should have the meaning in them. They should be as short as possible, but they should have the meaning in them. It just helps. So I will do that. I will come in here and I will go Zenler Course Platform, something like that. And then I'll go update. Okay, now it's called Course Platform. So now we're going to make this the home page. Remember, at the moment, our home page is the pre-launch page. Okay, this page here. Yeah. So back to home, over to here. Let's go and find it. There it is, Zenler Course Platform. And we'll do it for logged in users. I'll show you the difference in a minute. Zenler Course Platform. Click Save. And as if by magic, guys, we will have our site launched. And let's just click Enter in here. And there we have it. So we have a full site there created. Okay, it's simple. We haven't done a lot and made it really spectacular, which we could. You need to spend a bit more time, but it just shows you how quickly you could put a site together. Now, this site could be put together even quicker if I didn't start putting in my own images and all these things and putting forms in there. If I just work with the template that we supply when you get your first site, you know, you could just fill it out with your own content and have the site up even quicker. But of course, you're going to want to put your own logo in there. Of course, you're going to want to put your own colors and make it look cool. So don't rush it. There's no reason to rush doing your site. And I've taken the pressure off you by just building a pre-launch page. So you've got a page there that can sit there. It can gather people coming into the platform. You can give it out. You know, if you're out and about, you haven't finished the site, but you've got someone who's interested in what you're doing, you can say, look, go to this, look, a daywithzenler.newzenler.com, register, just register on there, and they'll have that page come up. You won't have to say to them, oh, wait about 3 months and then I'll have the site ready and you can go in and sign up for it. You can just go bang, you're in there now. You can work on the site in the background and then get the result straight away. So trying to work smart, just work smart with these things. So I hope you are enjoying this bit. We've got about half an hour to go. So that's all good. And I was going to talk about something else, but I've kind of forgotten. Down there. Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk about little blocks and things we can add in. So we're just going to have a little play around really now. And we'll probably have a play around later. So let's go and first of all, test this site before I have a play around. So I'm going to do, you noticed I put it, my own email address in there, and then I sent it. I sent it out on the launch page and you got me registered in the site. Well, I want to do a clean one now. I want to actually test it with the live site because we always test. So I'm going to go back into the platform. I'm going to close all these windows down just so that it's not annoying. And we're going to go down to all. And where I've got me that signed up there, I'm just going to copy my email address and I'm just going to delete myself out. Now, remember, it says pre-launch. Okay. So let's just, are you sure you would like to delete? I'm going to click OK. By the way, guys, you're not going to be able to add, you're not going to be able to remove yourself as super admin. All right. So we stop you from being able to do that because obviously it'd be dangerous. You couldn't get back in the site then. So now I've deleted myself out of the platform. I can go back into incognito and I can test it. So I'm going to go in here and get it wrong. Hold on, let me just go in and grab the site. Go to pages and grab this. Okay, and go into incognito. And here we are. So you've got support. This will fire an email off to you, their name and their comments they put in there. You need to test this out, okay? So I'm going to test out the important part here for me, which is the sign in. So when someone goes to sign in, we're going to test that it works. So I'm going to just jump across to my email to grab it, grab the email address, because I need to show you this live. So I'm going to delete that out. So I'm just getting rid of sensitive emails that are in there. All right, good, right. So annoying. Okay, right click, technology. Okay, so I've got that in there. Now I'm going to set a password. So I'm going to make this really easy. Just going to make a nice easy password. I'm just doing like 128 there. And I'm going to click log in. Now what's going to happen? Now I haven't got an account. So if I try to log in, it's going to say cannot capture, try again, but it's actually not going to let me because I've got, I haven't got an account. So I need to actually sign up for an account. So I really could do with a register button along the top. That's the first thing that I've noticed. And this is why you need to test. So let's do that. Let's start again and let's go and put a register button in the top. So I'm going to go into one of the pages, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go into the home and I'm going to put register up the top. So I'm going to come in here. I want to find my registration page URL, which is this one here. Okay. And I'm actually going to take that link. I'm going to copy it, jump back into the editor, wait for that to load. All right, so here we go. Go into the menu, add new. Register your interest, action, go to link, paste in that register URL from the page that I grabbed there, the register page. And we're going to click, I'm not going to open in a new tab. I'm just going to click save. Okay. Let's click save. Okay. So now you can see it's come up there. So that's good. So now I've got to register your interest. I'm still going to have the sign up on there because that's people just coming in, maybe signing up for the news release or whatever. It doesn't matter whether I've got people registering on the site, whether I've got people signing up through funnels, forms. It doesn't matter. The information's in there, and you want the email addresses. You want the people. You want to be list building, so you can send emails out to them. So it doesn't matter whether they come in from forms, whether they're registered on the site, but they haven't bought any courses. They're still in there, and you can still communicate with them. So let's now jump to our page, which I think is that one. Going to hit enter. There we go. So now we have a lovely register your interest button. So they can't sign in because they haven't got an account. So they need to sign up for one. So we're going to go register your interest, and it's going to bring all this stuff up. So now I can start putting more information in. So I can start to fill out all these details in here and grab that in there. And then I can put a password in. And we are going to, by clicking sign up, you agree to our terms and conditions. Notice that's the link to terms. Click sign up. Now you might sometimes get that cause a problem where we capture, and people have had this problem before. So hold on. Apologies, guys. My mouse decided to stop. Oh dear. It's great, isn't it? This is live. Anything could happen. So let me plug it in. There we go, we're off. All right, so people have had problems with this, and I've got that problem happen here where it doesn't click because the reCAPTCHA is not kind of working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and check out that register page, because every form has it by default that register has reCAPTCHA on it. So I want to go and I want to just change it. So I'm going to go in here. There's a lot more. I'm showing you the basics of how to put a site together, how to put a course together, but there's a lot more things inside. That's why don't just follow along with what I'm doing today. Definitely check out the quick start guide and then have a look at the complete guide to Zenler. Right. This is just a sort of demo, a showcase of working with it. So up here, there's a little arrow. So if we go to page settings, you can see that you have these settings for reCAPTCHA. So you could turn reCAPTCHA off. You can also have two versions. You can have visible and you can have invisible. Okay, so I'm going to turn visible on and I'm going to click update. And I'm going to click save to this. Now I'm going to check this out again. So I'm going to basically refresh the page. I've got so many windows open, it might be causing an issue as well. So I'm just going to close some of my incognito windows because I've got too many open. These are all the old windows. So it's a good idea to just keep a bit of control on the windows that you've got opening. All right, register your interest. Okay, so you've got the little box come up there. So I'm going to put in here. We're going to paste in the address. I'm not a robot. Click sign up. And there we go. So we are now, notice we are logged in. We've got our little name come up. Okay, right. So you saw where we had homepage. We had homepage for logged out users and we had homepage for logged in users. What I advise is to have a different homepage for logged in users, because I've just hit the register and I've gone straight back to the page, and some people might not think that they're actually in there, but they are. There's a few things that have changed. One is you've got a little profile picture up there and you've got a little my account and log out. You'll also see that my courses have come up in here. Now this my courses page is courses that the student has bought. Now, because I haven't bought anything, I've just signed up on the site. If I was to hit this, it's going to give nothing in here. But when they buy a course, it will appear in here. So by default, this My Courses comes up for registered logged in users. All right. They can also access their account information in here. All right. But I think it's really important that we have a different page for when they come into the site. So we're going to do that now. It's really quick. So I've shown you reCAPTCHA there as well. So we're going to jump back to this page and we're going to go to the home page, which is here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that page out very quickly. I'm going to set up a different page. So I've got here, you can see it's called copy. I don't like the name copy. So I'm going to go in here and say Zenler Course Platform, welcome. Okay. And then I'm just going to put welcome here. So that'll delineate the difference between the actual page, which is Zenler Course Platform, and the welcome page for members. So I'm going to put welcome in there. I'm going to click update. We now need to do a little bit of a change. Let's make quite a big change so you can really see the difference. So we're going to jump into the editor once more. Instead of a nice orange block, I'm going to change it to a nice blue block. Keep it the same, but I'm going to put a welcome message at the top saying welcome back. And that way you'll definitely see it as a change when you log in from when you logged out. So let's flick this up. There we go. And let's type in here, welcome back. Brilliant. Good. Okay. So let's change this color now. Let's go into here, jump in. Let's make this a lovely blue. There we go. And maybe I'll just make it even different. I'll come into here and make this orange. So it's a reverse of the colors. This can be quite good. You can play around with reversing colors in pages. Your eye kind of realizes it's the same, but it looks different, looks quite dramatic when you log in. So there we go. We've got this. So let's test this out now. First of all, I need to make it a different page. So I need to jump back into here. Now I've saved this. I'm going to close it off. I'm going to go into home page, and I'm now going to set that new page for logged in users. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go down to here. So now I've got this page for logged out users. I've got this page for logged in users. I'm going to hit save. We're going to jump back to our site where I'm going to log out. Let me just, I can just sign in here. So this is what we see when we're not actually signed in. And we're going to go sign in. And there we go. Now we've got this blue. So if I'm signed out or logged out, this is what I've got. And if I sign in, I can just put my details in there and jump back in. So, and this will be chimneys, 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 chimneys. There we go. And there we go. So you get a different page. So that's quite dramatic. You know, they see that page. Be careful. Like some people think, oh, it's a different page. So I can then put things on there like courses and things like that, you know, free stuff in there. Do remember that if people register for the site, they haven't bought anything. Okay. They haven't bought anything. So you'll be giving it to them for free. So only put your content you want paid for within the courses. All right. That's really important. So there we go. There we have it. And what are we at? 11:45. So I'm going to quickly check the group, see how you guys are doing, and if you have any questions. So let me flick this off there. Okay. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Just flicking around. All right. Okay. Let's have a look. Should be some new ones coming. I'm not sure if Rakesh is here with me. Rakesh is jumping on and off. Oh, Phoenix is helping out. Brilliant. Hi, Phoenix. Good to see you. Oh, there's quite a few of you today. It's brilliant. Johan, Suzanne, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Yeah, so there's no new questions come up in there, which is great. I'm just calling past to say how amazing you guys all are. Oh, thanks, Chrissy. Brilliant. Fabulous. All right, so we've done quite a lot today. We've got that site ready. I'm hoping that doing the courses can be really good. I'm going to share my screen a second because I'm going to show you the course material that I've got. Obviously, like I've just covered the basics there. That's how to put a site together. But do realize that there are a lot of other functionalities within Zenler itself. There's tons of different stuff you can do. So I'm hoping that in the second session that I can do the course, which is actually quite quick. And then maybe I can go back and do some playing around with different blocks to just show you what's possible. One thing we haven't looked at is the responsiveness of the site. So that's definitely something that I should quickly show you. So I will. Let me jump into the site. Okay, I'm sharing again. All right, let me grab this. Let me show you the responsive design. I'm not going to get into showing you changes and stuff because we've done videos on responsive design. Just look in the YouTube channel. So I'm logged in now. So if I start to bring this site in responsively, you're going to see that things tile and wrap nicely and it all looks quite good. Yeah, a little tip for you is you can actually, if you're using Chrome, you can right hand click and you can go down to inspect. And if you, let me do that again, just in case it's too fast, right hand click down to inspect or Control Shift and I. Okay. under here, we have a little, don't worry about all this code, that will blow your mind, but just go into here, you can say toggle device, click that, and it actually gives you a look with different devices. In this case, it's an iPhone 5 SE. You can also go to like a Galaxy S5 there, and you can see exactly what's happening. You can see our menu is broken into a burger menu now. So you can see inside here exactly how it's looking inside. Now, inside Zenler itself, we can also do that. So if you're in the pages, I suggest doing it using both methods, all right? Not just relying on Zenler in here. So if we go into edit, what you can do on any of the pages is you can flick between mobile and tablet, but using the inspect method, you can go through different size ratios. Yeah, that's as techie as I want to get on the subject without boring you too much. So inside Zenler, inside the page builder, we have the option to tweak things for different devices. We can even turn blocks off for different devices. So there's, like I said, there's a ton of stuff you can do, but if you select any of the blocks and you go to the settings, if you go to settings over here, you can see, where am I? Sorry, let me go to an element. Let me go into here, and you're going to see here that you have all devices. Now, this is generally what we work on. We want to work in a generic environment that's going to work for tablet, phone, and mobile. But sometimes you might need to tweak things, like on a mobile, you might need to make the text a bit bigger because maybe you can't see it at that size. So we do give you the option to view in different devices. So if I jump to desktop, which is what this is, you can see there's no changes. But when I start to jump to things like tablet, things will start to move. So mobile, here we go. So you can see how things are starting to shift around. Now, this can be really good because you can change certain things per device, okay? So, for instance, if I wanted to put more spacing in, or I wanted to put a bit of left and right spacing in on here, or I wanted to make the spacing at the bottom just for mobile, I would jump into that tab. Now, be really careful with this. Don't do it until you've got the all devices one all sorted and looking lovely, okay? Do it afterwards, just tweak it. So I'll put a little bit of bottom space in here like that. That's at, notice that's at, let me just put it at 40 so it makes it easy to see. So you can see that's at 40. Let me jump to tablet. Notice it's going to change in there to 10. Notice if I go to desktop, it's also going to remain at 10. But if I jump to mobile, it's going to go back to 40. So you can make these tweaks per device. All right. So not only that is you can hide certain blocks or elements per device. For instance, if I wanted, I'm going to put this back to 10 again, just so it's the same. If I wanted to hide this particular block on a mobile, I can easily do that. I can just turn it off. So I'm going to go back to all devices, and then I'm going to say, right, for mobile, I want this whole blue block to disappear. So I'm going to click this little gear icon. I'm going to go over to settings, and I'm going to go hide on mobile. Right now, nothing's happened, but that's because we're in desktop. Okay. Let me now go and check this in mobile. So I'm going to go to one of the elements. I'm going to click the gear icon and watch what happens when I click mobile. Disappeared. It's in tablet. There it is. And mobile, it's turned off. So you got that power of being able to turn things off per device. So this is particularly handy for maybe you more advanced developers who want to do a completely different experience for people on mobiles than on desktop devices. And we've talked about this before. I've been a website developer. I actually designed, it's less than much now because we've got good responsive behavior on most blocks, but it used to be a time where I used to create completely separate mobile sites to desktop and tablet sites, completely different, you know, costed on two different jobs, basically because of that reason, because of the way it's displaying and what the client actually wanted. So we have that built into Zenler, you know, free of charge. It's all built into the system. And of course, we can turn that back off if we want to as well and click save. So that's how we can set up a brand new welcome page for people that have registered on your site or bought your courses. And you can also set up a per device view for responsive behavior on Zenler Platform. So I've covered like the basics there, and I've gone a little bit into that side of it. But yeah, I mean, you can see the power of it. You can see how quick we worked with it. I want to just jump into now, which is going to be part 2. I've got about 7 minutes remaining of this first 3-hour live. And I want to jump in and just show you what I'm going to be doing for the course. So I haven't got anything, it's not going to be anything major here. It's I'm going to put a few PDFs. I've got the last day with Zenler I did here with Rakesh and Kevin. I'm going to create a course based around these videos because I've got them. Okay, and I'm also going to put a year with Zenler in there as well. Now, don't worry about that. That's something else. But I've also got some assets inside here that I'm going to probably utilize or use in some shape or form. So the hardest thing about course creation is not using the Zenler platform. That's actually the easy bit. The hard bit is planning what you want to do. Now, you'll notice that in lots of the posts on Facebook, and I'm sure Phoenix and Tracy will attest to that, that actually planning is key. It's the hardest bit. It's not only like because you're doing courses. So when you're putting this stuff together, you need to be super organized to a degree. You need to have a folder. You need to have your copy, any images. If you've got branding guidelines done for your colors, you know, you should have those in a sheet as well, and just have it all together. And have any images together. If you've got any images that you've actually created or got someone else to do, make sure they sent them to you. Once you've got all of that stuff, you can put it into the site extremely quickly. And I also have a plan of what you'll do. What are you going to do? I've seen lots of course developers struggle with this. They go too far. They're like, well, I've got this amazing plan to have a membership site with 10 tiers. And when someone comes through one tier, it sends an email out, and then another email goes out there. And they build this massive thing, which actually sounds amazing. You know, on paper, it sounds amazing. It sounds like a book. It sounds like War and Peace. But the truth of the matter is, if they try to attempt that and they're not experienced, they haven't been doing this stuff for a few years, then they're going to fail, because it's going to be they're going to be asking so many questions. It's not going to work the way they want. They've got to spend a lot of time looking after the way the system's working. There will be people saying, I didn't receive that email. There's going to be loads of different things come up due to the complexities of what they're trying to do. Whereas if they start really simply by doing something like we've done just now, just put a launch page up, get people to sign up through it, showing their interest, and then maybe doing a little mini course and getting people to sign up, and then building a bigger course. And if they're on a subscription and people are paying, they can spend more time, and then they can build this thing out. You wouldn't go and build a skyscraper just on a piece of land, would you? I mean, if you did, it would fall over. You would do foundations. You would put the foundations in, yeah? You would get the planning permission. You would get the architect to draw it all out. You know, you'd see if it was modular, like whether bits could be added to it. This is exactly the same as course creation. It's the one thing that kind of frustrates me with, I mean, I understand you want to go big, you know, you want to go big, you've got amazing ideas, but that will be your biggest hurdle, will be overcomplicating it. You'll notice that Kevin will mention that all the time. Keep it simple. You know, if you keep it simple at start, you can then start to generate your money coming in with the minimum time that you need to spend on it. And then when that money and your students start to gain momentum, you can then build it, because you'll have money coming in to finance your time doing it. Okay, that's a really big one to think about, not overcomplicating it. My courses, videos, description, and I do download files. I don't use assignments. I want to. I don't do that many lives, really. I've got a Facebook group. I communicate with them, and that's it. So it's great. I can go off on a month's holiday, and I really don't have to deal with any of them. and I can come back and people will have bought into the course. So it's making it manageable for you. And I think we've talked about that before. This has come up with one thing that was talking about just running up to 12 o'clock now, but I've done a marketing course and I've made a rod for my own back, and I should know better. We all do it. We all make mistakes. It's not really a mistake. It's kind of a little bit much work than I wanted to do. One was I set assignments for each of the modules, and those assignments were quite thorough. And I was having to go through like 20, 30 assignments, basically like a teacher, just sort of going through them so I understood them all before people moved on. But that's actually a lot of work. So I had 1,000 people. It would take up too much of my time. So I started to reduce it down so that I could see quick yes or no answers and just approve them going through the course. And for me, that works a lot better. So, you know, everybody makes mistakes with these things, and you learn from it and you move on. So I just wanted to put that out there so it kind of like clarifies a few things with this sort of stuff. Don't overcomplicate it if you can't help it. All right, guys. So I think we are now at 12. We have done it. Yep. Another big hurdle. So many course ideas. Try to focus on one and build that one first, as Phoenix has said. Yeah. And Sunita as well. Simplicity is key. So Sunita and Anita are twin sisters, and they are on my marketing course. So good to see you here. And yeah, hopefully I can see you guys at 3 o'clock. Remember, we got Kevin on. Kevin's doing the marketing. He's doing a little bit on marketing. So you guys, Sunita and Anita, your sister, remember this is on replay as well, so you can rewatch it all back. But he's doing a little bit of marketing. So it's going to be really interesting what he says to how I've done my marketing course. I think he's going to pick up on lots of the same lead points. But I'm going to be interested in that one, so I'm going to watch it myself. So guys, have a good lunch. It's lunch here. It's 12 o'clock. We're going to be starting up again in 3 hours time. We're going to do another 3 hours till 6. We're going to do a complete course build. It's not going to be a big course. I'm hoping to get a lot of time left over so I can play around and show you some more cool things that you can do using the Zenler platform. Okay, guys. So I shall see you very soon.